Here we go.
Hello, folks. You're listening to Stick Drift, a bi-weekly show where we talk about the world of video games and the culture surrounding them. My name is Power Glover, and with me for the 40th installation of this podcast, Noah Rada. We're back. We're
We're
here.
back. We're not 40 though.
We're-
The episode is the 40th.
This is the 40th one of these that we've done. We haven't lost one yet. Knock on wood. I knocked on my table. Had some peaks and valleys, but mostly good. I think we've figured out mostly this thing,
Yeah.
and I enjoyed doing it. How have you been lately?
Yeah, pretty alright. Just very busy. So
Yeah, real. Me too. Summertime is always pretty busy for me when it comes to work, and this week's been no exception. So it's going to be nice to kind of wind down a little bit. And I was also busy last week. We went to like a festival, like a music festival. Ate a bunch of bad food, and it was good. I felt bad,
yeah.
but I enjoyed it.
Oh.
But yeah, I'm looking for some downtime. We were talking about One Piece before we started airing this, and
Yep.
I just want to watch some One Piece this week, and I think I'm going to do that. So I'm looking forward to it. They have a lot of One Piece video games. I might play a One Piece video game. I'm excited to do that.
Probably don't play that new one that they tease in like the Switch Direct. That thing seems kind of doggy doo-doo.
No, there's one that takes place in Alabasta. That's the one I want to check out.
Gotcha.
And I don't think it's canon, but it's Alabasta because Alabasta rocks. So that's your favorite one so far, right? Not to get too deep down.
I like Alabasta. Yeah.
Because of Sir Crocodile, of course.
Crocodile's
Sir
cool.
Crocodile's the best. Yeah. He laughs like he's so rich. You know what I mean? He's just papered up. He's like,
yeah.
"Huh."
It's so good.
He's so good. Ugh. Who doesn't like Crocodile? Anyway, everyone should watch One Piece, as I've been saying. Noah finally did it. It could be you too. Just change your life. It could be you too. Anyway, we have a lot of video games to talk about tonight. You brought a lot. I usually do that. You brought a lot of video games that you played. Most of them of the Touhou persuasion, I will say.
That's okay.
But that's okay.
Those are the good
I
ones.
like hearing about those. Sure. Whatever you say, buddy. But let's talk about unreleased video games that have demos. How about that? Let's start there. I have you up first, but I do want to talk about our shared demo that we played. We both checked out the demo for Onimusha Way of the Sword. So a little bit of background for me. The only Onimusha game I've played is the first one, Onimusha Warlords. It's a Capcom joint. Onimusha, old PS2 franchise, kind of a redheaded cousin to Resident Evil in some ways. It's interesting. That series is interesting. Yeah, it's like an action adventure Resident Evil game with swords. Like that's kind of how that game feels a little bit. You're doing a lot of like puzzles and get this key for this lock, that sort of thing. But you're fighting Oni in old Japan times.
Yep.
And this is what that demo is too. They're bringing this back. Capcom is doing we're going to revitalize our old stuff and make it new again and make new video games based on old IP, which is smart. And honestly, with their hit rate this year, Capcom deserves your undivided attention at this point. They are just that good right now. And I think that Onimusha is lining up to be a very good one of these. So how did that demo hit you? Like, did you like it at all or no?
I kind of hated it, actually. Like, it
might have been okay, all right. Let me hear
one of the worst games I've played.
Oh my gosh, this guy.
Really hated that thing. It's just...
Oh, man.
The thing about it is it does like the most generic things that one of these sword guy slashy games can do. Like, you just go around, you do your parries, whatever, you do your sword slashes. Like, it's just one of those. And so that, whatever, that's what the game is. Whatever, that's fine. Kind of boring for me, but what's so egregious about this thing is the main character. He is insufferable. I hate him.
Oh, you think so?
With
oh my
a
gosh.
passion.
Wow.
He's a chatterbox. He's like if you were playing Ocarina of Time and Link every 5 seconds was like, oh, I should check this treasure chest to see if it has anything in it.
That is modern video games in some way. That's the Aloyification of main protagonists.
I
Let's tell the player what to do because they're dumb. But
can't
yeah, I can
stand
see where
it.
you're
I
coming from.
can't stand it. Like at certain point, he's like, oh, where's that damn uh Oni string thing? I can't remember what he calls it, but that's literally the where's that damn fourth Chaos Emerald from Shadow the Hedgehog? And at that point, I just
Oh,
lost my mind. I'm like, okay, at least take me to dinner first, Onimusha, before you're like quoting Shadow the Hedgehog on me. Like, come on, okay?
That's
Like,
I will say I okay. The something that rubbed me the wrong way is I think them making it super British is weird, and they shouldn't do that because that game is British as hell. Like all the English VO is like, oh, I can't believe it, sir. There's freaking
yeah,
Oni everywheres. I'm like, I can't take this seriously. Like this is
yeah.
like period era,
Like, you
fantastic
don't have to
Japan.
do like the like super like racist like voice acting,
No,
but
dude,
like,
they're cocky as hell. Like they're
yeah,
just cocky. They're just like, oh come, Mr. Samurai man, can you save me from
yeah,
the Oni? Like that's what
you
they
don't have to
sound like.
do either of those things. Like, you could just have like normal voice acting without any
Well,
strong accent, and that would be okay.
so the original Onimusha is not like this. It's really an interesting choice for them to do that. I think personally, you should just listen to the Japanese dub anyway because it just sounds
Yeah,
better. But I just, yeah, I do get what you're saying by him
maybe I
being a
wouldn't be as
chatterbox.
annoyed if I had the Japanese dub, but I
I
was
That's
just
exactly what I did, and I had a much better time, I
okay.
will say.
I was just so annoyed by the end of it. Like,
Right,
I
right.
yeah, I
I
just
I
couldn't
like
stand
his
it.
expressiveness. He's a very expressive character on his face, and I appreciate that. You don't get that a lot from like main characters in video games.
Yeah.
Like his face does a lot of moving around. I appreciate that detail there. I mean, he's based off of isn't it Toshiro Mifune or something like that? Like
Um,
the old samurai actor, right? Is it Mifune or who is it? It's not
he
him.
might
It's
be based off of Mufune, but I know his
he's
name
based off an
is
old
like
samurai like actor.
okay, yeah,
So
then that'd be Mifune, but the um the character himself is Miyamoto, so I'm assuming they were referencing Miyamoto
yeah,
Musashi, but
that's who he's supposed to be. Yeah, exactly.
Miyamoto
That's who he's supposed
Musashi
to
is
be.
a dual swords samurai, so
Mm.
I don't
And maybe they
know.
introduced that mechanic later. Who knows?
Yeah, I don't know
Um,
what's going on there, but
yeah, it's an
uh
interesting one.
yeah,
Um,
it
I
was fine, I guess. I'm not going to play that game. I'll put it that way. I have
oh okay,
zero interest
yeah,
after playing the demo.
gotcha. It is modeled after Toshimifune, so I was right about
Yep,
that.
yep.
So I liked it. The thing that I think needs to be changed about that game is the difficulty. It's one of the easiest demos I've ever played. I think that's the problem with it.
Yeah, the
It's
demo
also
was
I don't think
pretty breezy.
yeah, it's breezy in a way where it's just like I don't know,
I guess there was a
non-competitive. You
hard
just feel
mode
like
that you could have tried. Um,
oh really? Okay,
yeah,
I didn't see that.
I'm pretty sure there was
Um,
a hard mode
maybe,
option.
but I also don't think they tutorialize you well enough for that boss that you encounter either.
Yeah, that
Because
boss
you're
I
learning.
died to
Yeah,
quite a few times, at least 3 times.
I think the boss was good. I like the
Yeah,
boss, but like the actual encounters to get to that point, the training up to that point, I was like, I feel like I'm underprepared for this in a way. But
yeah,
having enough video game literacy, I'm like,
yeah.
okay, I know
Video
what I'm
game literacy. I kind of Sekiro'd my way
right.
through it. I'm like, yeah, okay,
100%.
yeah,
That's exactly what happened, and it was good. I think the actual combat mechanics, the pairing is very good. And it's that basically like to get the right feel out of that game, to get the thing they're going for, you have to have that static. You got to have that push to engage with the mechanics, right? And the
yeah,
best way you can do that is with a boss fight. And so like I got a good taste of what it would feel like in a high pressure situation with these mechanics. I'm like, okay, yeah, this feels like a very good Dewey combat system. I like it. Um, I hear criticisms about him being chatty. I agree with you. I changed the English dub. But also, I think the main issue with that demo is how easy it is, really, and the tutorialization too. But I will definitely be playing it because it's Capcom, and everything Capcom's put out has been gold since Monster Hunter World. I even like the new Monster
World
Hunter. I
was
know you don't.
yeah, World was okay.
I
Wilds
like World
was
quite a bit, but
okay too, but
I am more charitable towards those things, but I also play them more casually than you do, so I get less mileage out of them. But Capcom has been on a hot streak, especially this year with RE9 and then Pragmata. I'm like, I'm going to buy this thing. I just have to know. I find it impossible for it to be like actually bad. I think it's going to be a pretty good game. So I don't know. Jury's still out on it. Not a great demo, unfortunately. We both played it, so it's a good place to start. Honestly, any other thoughts you have on Onimusha, Way of the Sword?
just gotta find that damn fourth Chaos Emerald.
Got to. That's kind of funny that you say that. I
Yeah,
remember
you remember
that
him?
line.
Yeah, yeah. He's like, "Where's that damn Oni Spring or whatever?" And
Yep, I remember. Yeah.
I'm like, "Oh my gosh,
Yep.
he just Shadow the Hedgehog me." Like I was making
You should
fun of
be
the
proud of
thing already. It was like feeling like the most AAA thing I've ever played in my entire life. And then he pulled that one on me. I'm like, okay, buddy. Because
it.
they have the classic where you like go through like the little crevice. You have to like sidle through the little like crevice.
I rolled my eyes at that a little bit. I was like, yeah, well, there's
Every
your AAA
AAA
video.
game has it. That's the AAA. You have
Dude,
to go through the crevice.
Bond
Uh,
has that as
Yeah,
well.
Bond
Double O
has
07
it right at the
as well.
beginning. I know. I'm like, all right, I'm playing a AAA game, but you know what? I appreciated it in Bond because I was ready
Yeah,
for it in Bond. With Bond, I was like,
yeah,
yeah, give me the most AAA thing. With Onimusha,
yeah,
I'm like, okay, yeah, I see what you're trying to do, be the most AAA thing, but you're doing it in a really annoying way. Bond wasn't
sure.
like constantly like, oh, I need to open that door. Like I didn't get that impression from Bond. Maybe he was doing that. I don't
You would
know. I didn't get that impression.
you would hate the Horizon Zero Dawn series. Oh my gosh,
I'm
or the
all
Horizon
good.
series.
I'm never playing those games.
You're
So
really good. I don't like those games either, but like they do a lot of that. They're like you're walking around for 5 minutes, they don't even give you a chance to go like, what should I do next? The character's like, I should go check out blah blah blah. And you're like, shut up, AOA. I don't care. Don't tell
the
me what to do.
the
Like,
funny thing is that for one thing, those are like open world things, so that's not my bag, anyways. But also, I had a I had a boss at my IT job in college that would always tell me to play those like that game because it was just the one game back then.
right,
And
right.
he would just kept telling me to play it and play it. So like now my brain, whenever I think of that game, I'm like, okay, I'm just annoyed that my boss is telling me to play this thing over and over again. So I just out of principle will not play those things.
Honestly, it's a good enough reason to stay away. I think that game is completely serviceable and not very good.
Yeah,
I've beaten Horizon Zero Dawn
I'm sure
twice.
it's
I
fine.
platinumed the game twice for some reason. It's totally serviceable and fine. I have like actual fundamental problems with that series, but I'm not going to get into it here. Um, anyway, Onimusha Way of the Sword. I like that demo, regardless of the issues it has. I think once you get into the game, it's going to be more. It's you'll get a better grip on it. I don't think this demo is fully representable of what the final product would be because apparently Onimusha is kind of an open zone game, is what I understand. You're
Yeah.
not doing a lot of corridor stuff like you are in its demo, so you
Hmm.
can kind of pick and choose zones on a map, is what I understand. I'm like, okay, that's not what this demo is. It's really weird they present it this way, but it's fine. It'll shape up. I think they're gonna do
Huh.
a good job. I will report back because I will be buying that game. So
Yep.
just
I'm not gonna waste my time with it. It's getting a thumbs down
that's
for
fine.
me.
And
So
you also haven't played Onimusha, so I don't expect you
nope.
to be into it. But I have. I like Onimusha.
Sure.
So. Onimusha 1 is a great game. I love that game. It's also got one of the funniest line reads of any video game I can remember, and it sticks in my brain so clearly. So in Onimusha, I know, I promise we'll move on. In Onimusha, there's a bunch of like fantastical villains and whatever. They're all like kind of alien-ish creatures, squid-like creatures, whatever. There's this one character I cannot for the life of me remember. I got to look at this actually. But he has a line reading that is so hilarious. I will send you a clip of this at some point. But it is stuck in my brain like to this day. I beat this game like 2-3 years ago, but like he says like Marcellus in like the most fruity way ever. It is so funny. If I could figure out what this dude's name is. Oh my god, oh my god, oh my god. Nah, it's fine. It's not important. This guy, he looks like a squid man, and he's the most out of left field. I'm not supposed to be in this video game character ever. It's a Fortinbras, maybe. Anyway, it's not important. It's really funny though. Like everyone's kind of talking very serious, and then you have this goober coming in, going like, "You're a samurai, huh?" And he's like summoning this bodyguard to like kill him. He goes, "Come, Marcellus, protect me!" And I'm like, "What is this video game now? This is a weird video game." So yeah, Onimusha Warlords, good game. Anyway, that was not important, but that's something I remember. So let's get into some more demos. Noah, you got some more stuff. Tell me about
I
what
do.
else you've been checking out. Is this from Steam Next Fest? Out of curiosity.
Yeah, the last Salvage Squad thing was from Steam Next Fest.
Okay, okay, yeah. Let me know about that.
Yeah, so it was okay. So I like boomer shooters. And so this was like a boomer shooter where you play as like this like robot, humanoid robot thing. Maybe it's a girl robot. I don't really know. It's kind of ambiguous.
Okay.
Androgynous, I guess is the word, but the um the the gameplay was not what I expected. It was more of like an arcade style, so you're like in like a small like arena, and
Yeah.
you have like these uh like robot uh spider type things that are like towering over you, and you're shooting them. They're 2D. You're 2D. Um, and and then you're in like this like red and black, like almost like Virtual Boy esque um like environment, and then the
Yeah.
characters are like white robots, and then the like enemies are like black robots. Um
Mm, mm.
and but yeah, they're like that
Oh,
like
I see how
spider
it is.
type robot, right? But they're like that spider type robot. Um
Yeah.
and yeah, that had like a little bit of like a weapon variety to play around with. I like they mostly for the demo they have you just using like the sort of like pistol. Um but there's like one level that lets you choose a weapon. I saw like a katana, so I'm like, oh yeah, I'll try this with a katana. We'll see how that goes. And it didn't go very well, but I ended up completing the level anyways. Just barely.
Yeah.
And then yeah, and then the like final demo level like gives you like these like twin pistols that like are like rapid fire. So it was just kind of like more of a very very arcadey version of what I was doing. I
Okay.
was just trying to like rack up kills. But yeah, it was okay. I probably wouldn't get the full release unless if it was on a like heavy sale. Um, I'm pretty sure the
Sure.
full release is out now. Um, but yeah, the demo just didn't really draw me in. The visuals were striking, so I tried the demo, and I was like, yeah.
Mhm.
So I'm also predisposed to liking boomer shooters. The last one I really liked that was like a boomer shooter was Brazilian Drug Dealer 3. So
Right. Right. Oh man, that's such a funny looking game. That game looks
yeah,
crazy.
that game's fun.
I
I've beat
inexplicably
that
have that
game.
wish listed. I don't know. Yeah.
Yeah.
But
Yep. I've beat that thing and I like that thing. So
cool. Yeah. What a funny name for a game. I like
yep.
it.
But
A
yeah,
lot.
that's the boomer shooter. And I guess I'll continue on to this one will be
Yeah.
quick. So Echoes of Aincrad. It's the newest Sword Art Online game. Um,
Oh, tuning out. I'm kidding. I'm kidding.
I like I said, it's gonna be quick because here's what happened, right? So I booted this thing
Uh-huh.
up because I've kind of been looking forward to this thing because I'm predisposed to liking these things because I'm a fan of Sword Art. And this one is more of like a action RPG, so it's got like those good like action RPG elements. You know, you got your leveling up, you got your sword art things that you do. like actual like moves are like sword arts. And you got your dodge rolling, whatever, But I got through like the demos. Like you go through this really long hallway in this dungeon. Like it kind of twists around, but it's all just like a straight path. And like as you're going through this, like your party's like chattering in your ear. They're like, "Oh, hi, blah 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 blah," and then they like do like the whole like Sachi thing. If you're not familiar with Sachi, like there's this like whole like I think it's just like one episode of Sword Art where like Kirito like joins a party and then his party ends up getting wiped out in dungeon because they got too greedy, and that's basically what happens in this one. And it's the whole you die in the game, you die in real life. So
Yeah.
so they like just one for one that thing, and so like whatever, it's gripping enough. So yeah, sure, your party dies, whatever, and this guy is like comes out and saves your dumb character. He's like, "Oh, are you a solo player?" And then they're like, they give you a yes or no, and it doesn't really matter what you say because then he's like, "Oh, well, you don't look like a solo player. You look like someone whose party just got wiped out. Join me." Uh. And then I went to follow him into the next room, and Unreal Engine crashed. And so I'm like, okay, good start to this thing. So I
Yeah.
booted it back up, and it put me at the very beginning of the demo. I'm like, no, I'm not doing all that walking again. You lost me. You lost me, Bandai Namco. Sorry. Yep. I'll wait for the full release to try the demo again, and if it crashes on me again, then we're done. We're finished. Because
On
I'm
thin
not.
ice, Bandai.
Yeah, thin ice. That was really annoying. Because that demo is really bad from what I played. Like one of the worst displays of a demo, worse than that Onimusha demo. So, it's just a
Low
straight
light.
hallway, and like you fight some things, but like there, if you like charge up the heavy move, you can just kill them in one hit. So I was just like going around killing these things in one hit. I'm like, okay, sure. Like I didn't even get to the character creator. So this game has like a character, like they set you up with this like bowl cut brown hair dude, and have you
Yeah.
running around as like it's the worst looking character I've ever seen in my life. Right? They have you set up as this character, and so you're playing as this character you don't want to play as, and then you get to like like I don't know. Maybe I was about to get to the character. Do they even have the character creator in the demo? I don't know. I don't even know how that thing's gonna work either, because like they set you up as this character, like you are this character. So how do you become a different character? Like apparently you can be a woman in that thing too. I don't know the logistics of that. Like Sword Art isn't like that. You can't just like say like in the like actual like anime of like Sword Art, like that's just not how it works. Like people tried to do that, and then like the whole funny thing is that like people who chose like the girl avatars got made to look like themselves, even if like they were guys. They just switched to being guys or whatever. So yeah, it's it annoyed me. So I wanted to vent about it.
No, that's fine. What is this place if not a place to vent? You know what I'm saying?
So,
So
Echoes of
that's Echoes of
Aincrad.
Aincrad.
It might be interesting. I have no idea how the actual like like mechanics of that thing work. I just know the basic combat was serviceable. That's about all I got to do before it crashed on me, and I wasn't about to do all that again. So there we go.
Yeah, no, I don't begrudge you. Yeah, I hate it when games waste my time. Be good,
Yep.
be bad, just don't waste my time.
Yep.
100%. Sounds like thing was bad and wasted your time. That's unfortunate.
Yeah.
Yeah, next let's talk about some shared games. Some games that we also played. And let's get on the one we finished. We both finished since our last recording. 007 First Light. We both finished that thing. I think that game is tremendous.
Yep.
That is one of the best games of the year so far. I really think they knocked it out of the park with their first try, man. I
That's a
really
great game.
do.
Yeah.
It's so good. And honestly, I shouldn't be terribly surprised because it is IO Interactive. They made three great Hitman games in a row.
Yep.
Um, this game has some Hitman in it for sure, but it's got a lot of Uncharted, and it was really
Yeah.
refreshing to see a very expensive video game do a lot of exciting stuff.
Mhm.
You know what I mean? Um,
Yeah,
yeah.
it's
What did you think at the end of this thing?
yeah, I liked how it wrapped up. I thought it was really neat how everything wraps up.
Yeah. Hmm.
They go into places where I didn't think that the game would go, and they really they put the the idea of like MI6 and like the like 00 system, they put it to its limits, like stress test it
Yeah.
completely.
Yeah. They
And so
do.
it's really interesting just how almost personal things get towards the end of that
Yeah.
thing
Oh
for
yeah.
like the characters. So
Mhm. A couple of things that I wanted to point out is first of all, Greenway and Bond. If those characters don't work, the game is just not as good.
yeah,
And they just nailed those characters.
yeah,
Like Bond is perfect, pitch perfect.
yep,
He, for if it was me, and if Amazon was smart, they would just cast him as the next Bond. This guy,
yeah,
he is excellent. He completely embodies what a young Bond should be without becoming annoying or too stereotypical. He feels like a very, you know, it feels like in the lineage of the character, but a new, fresh spin, a very young take on it. And I think he's really well done, really well rendered, extremely charming. Like I feel like sometimes Bond is just not charming. Like Daniel Craig, not a charming Bond, in my opinion. I don't think he's charming at all. I
yep,
think that dude's a bummer. Like, and I like him as Bond. He's not a charmer.
yeah,
Like this guy will talk you out of your shorts. Like that's
yep,
how this guy is. Um, and I think he's great. But also Greenway like almost steals the show. Lenny James is so strong in that
yeah,
game. Like he's almost like the second main character
yeah,
almost. That guy, that
yeah.
mentor character.
Yeah, it's incredible how he goes like, and we won't go into too much detail on like the
Mm.
storyline here, but he
It's a new
does
video game, so yeah,
yeah, he does
yeah,
go from like being like, this character that you're really not supposed to like to like, oh, this let's see more things from his perspective, and then it's like, oh, okay, well now everything makes sense, and now I actually
right.
really like this character, so it's really cool how they were
Yeah,
able to do that with that character.
he's 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 initially a foil that becomes an invaluable ally and asset. And to see that evolution is
Yeah.
really great character work on the part of IO. They really understood what they needed
Yep.
in this game. It feels like the best Bond thing since probably Skyfall, in my opinion.
Yep.
Um, and I just think the game is tremendous. It's long too. It's a long video game. There's a lot of things you do in that game. You go to a lot of locations that are very detailed and very painstaking in their minutia. Like you do a lot of stuff in that game.
Yeah.
Um, I feel like it almost came out of nowhere. Like I knew this thing was coming out, but you just don't know the scope of it until you play it. And now having done so, I'm kind of shocked how well done it is.
Yeah.
You know, it's one of the best surprises of the year. And honestly, it's weird that I'm calling it a surprise, but I kind of in some way didn't expect it. Um, I didn't expect to like it as much as I did because I'm just not as big of a Bond guy. Like I like Bond,
Mhm.
but I'm not as big as even you are. You're
Yeah.
like dyed in the wool Bond guy.
Yep. Yep. I
Um,
love Bond, so I was really happy
yeah,
to
and
all the Bondisms
mhm,
were there, everything that I want to see in a Bond thing was there.
yeah.
So, yeah, it was
Mhm.
as accurate as it could be for someone who's a diehard. So,
And it's also they also reach in to do the fun stuff. Like it does the balancing act of the serious and the campy
yep,
better than most Bond things have
yep,
recently.
yep,
Like they do the whole Q Lab stuff with all the gadgets because
yep,
it's part of the gameplay, obviously, but it works seamlessly even when it gets really serious,
yep. Yeah, and
it's just a
there's
really deft balancing act, I'll
like
say.
it's really important with that game to explore around and take in the things. Don't just rush
Yes.
from point A to point B, because you can do
No.
that. But if you
Mhm.
want to enjoy this thing and you want to, like, experience what this game is trying to do with the Bond
Yeah.
IP, like, world building wise and character wise, you really just got to take your time, explore around. You're not in a
Mhm.
hurry, like, you're almost never in a hurry in that game. um
Yeah.
so you really just got to take your time. And like the stuff with like the QLab stuff, like, yeah, they have some really goofy gadgets in there that you can spot if you're able to like explore around. There's
Yeah.
this one point where they have like this like they're around this phone booth and they're talking about this phone booth
Right.
that I
Yeah.
can't remember what the phone booth did. It had something to do with, like, I think it might have locked people in there or something.
Yeah, I think it did, yes.
But they took it out and they're like, "Yeah, we found a bunch of coins in this phone booth, so that was kind of awesome." And it's
Mhm.
like small moments like that that's just like
Yeah.
brings like life into that game, that
It really
the
does
NPC
feel like a living
interactions.
world.
Yeah, yep.
Yeah.
The
Like a
NPC
living
interactions
world in
are
a lot
really
of ways.
important. That's kind of what I
Mm.
like in like a Majora's Mask, is that living, breathing world sort of thing.
Yeah.
And I see a
Yeah.
lot of that DNA here in 007. So
And it's not just that too. IO also, pays homage to Hitman in this thing a lot. Like the mission at the chess mansion or whatever, like the chess competition, you're following 009 almost like he's Agent 47. Like and Bond almost remarks at the fact that he's changing costume a lot. Like he's moving around really quickly. How does he overhear now? Like he's giving people the slip so easy. It's so Hitman-esque. You're like, oh, this is how it would be if you were following an Agent 47 in the Hitman game. Like
yeah,
this scene is kind of like that,
he
It's
wasn't
really interesting
following
stuff.
009 there though. He was following the
No, but he thinks it is at that point, I'm pretty sure. Like
no.
he's involved with him or something, right? Doesn't he say that? I think he
No,
says that he's like
he
involved with
thinks he
009.
might be involved, or he at least thinks he's a suspicious person. That's why he's
Okay,
chasing him.
I thought he was initially going like, "Oh, this guy's involved with 009. I need to follow the blonde man." That's
Yeah,
what I remember that mission setup being.
yeah. He
He
might
he's
think
not
that he's
009.
involved, but he
Yeah.
doesn't think that he's 009 at all. Though.
Yeah, so yeah, I misspoke. It's not 009, but he's
Yeah.
following a bad guy. Anyway,
Yep.
um, yeah, the distinction is important because 009 is a very big part of that game.
Yes. Yep.
But like totally it's such a cool thing for them to do, to kind of like gesture at Hitman by going like, "Hey, we're gonna structure a mission kind of like what an old Hitman level would be, but you're kind of viewing it from that spectator way,
Yeah,
and you're
I
kind of
didn't get
picking the
that. I've
pieces."
never played a Hitman
See,
game.
but
So
that's someone for me. I love those games, so like
yeah,
that's a huge thing that I got out of that mission. So
yeah,
if you pay attention, you get more out of the Bond stuff. I get more out of the Hitman stuff.
yep,
There's enough both sides to really satisfy. It's
yep.
tremendous work, really good stuff.
It's
Um,
very it's a lot more like cutscene heavy,
yeah,
dialogue heavy, than a lot of people expect a Hitman to be, from what I understand.
yeah,
And it's a
right.
lot more cutscene heavy and dialogue heavy than um, like most of the stuff that I play. Um, it's very
Yeah, it's very
triple A.
cinematic.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Um, so I
Well, Hitman's very systems based too.
yeah,
Like they have the preamble, they have the cinematics there. There is a through line story, but when it comes to the actual gameplay, there is some authored moments to it, but they're honestly just set dressing for the mechanics and the clockwork nature of those games. This game is very, very specifically like, no, point A, point B, we are cultivating an experience for you with a bunch of systems intermingled in that. You know
yeah.
what I
The
mean?
the
But
systems are,
yeah,
they're like, how do you get from point A to point B is up to you,
right,
but you do got to get
right.
to point B at some point.
You do. You can't eschew the main narrative for something else. You
Yeah.
know. Uh, but yeah, to kind of to wrap up some of the end thoughts of Double Seven First Light. It's going to be on my top 10 this year. I don't know where it'll fall. It's one of my favorite things I've played this year for sure.
Yeah.
I won't even like say it's neck and neck with RE9 because I'm not going to make that comparison. But I've enjoyed it as much as RE9. I will say that.
Yeah.
We got to let the year play out. I'm kind of adamant about that, but it's a really great game, a really great video game. I'm so happy I played it. I'm glad it came out. And it's as polished as it is too. It's a very polished video game. Because it sounds like this thing came in pretty hot. So they were supposed to have a Switch 2 version of this game that is not out yet, but it will be out this year. So they were working up to the minute on this thing, even after the delay. So yeah. Any other thoughts on 007? I think it's an awesome game. I'm so thrilled with it. I think I'm just enamored.
It was fun. I liked it as like a James Bond person. And I liked it as someone who likes, a good game. It was just a well-made game.
Yeah.
It's
Very
not
well
something
made.
I'd go back to. I don't plan to play any of the updates or anything like
Sure.
that. It's the gameplay.
Yeah, I'll play that mission that they have coming out for. I'll play that.
Yeah, the gameplay was fine to me. I was really just there for the story. I got invested, in the story of the characters, and
Right.
once that was done, I'm like, yeah, okay, that was a good experience.
Yeah, sure. And it's totally fine if you want to do it that way. Like there is some like training mode stuff. There is some like escalation stuff, like in the Hitman games, where like increasing difficulties for arena fights and stuff.
Yeah.
Which is interesting to me because I like playing those games and really getting the mechanics out of it.
Yep.
So I'll probably return to it besides the stuff they're adding. So
Sure.
yeah, there's a lot to play after the fact too. So
yeah, for me,
yeah.
I mean, I got like maybe 14 hours out of that thing.
I was probably about 12 and a half, 13. Yeah, that's about me.
And I, that was $60, 14 hours. That's fine.
It was definitely worth it. I mean, I'm not a person that does a dollar per equivalent hour thing. That's not how I look at games. But
it's game was the money was there in that game. Like there was a lot of money in that game. So
there's a lot. I mean, he's wearing Omega watches and driving labeled cars and stuff. You know what I mean? Like there's
the watch thing. Like I saw that there was some company that they were doing like a cross promotion. Was it Omega? Okay. Because they at some point they're going to be like doing actual cross promotion in some way with those, because they weren't doing it yet. I know they weren't doing the cross promotion yet, but they're going to be doing it in the future.
Going forward in Bond stuff, they're going to have Omega in there.
No, in this game, because they don't have it yet, from what I understand. I saw an article about it a while back that was like they don't have it in the game yet, but in like October or something, they're going to be adding it into there. They don't have the actual watches in there yet from the company.
Really? Okay.
Yeah, they don't have the promotion yet. That's what I'm trying to say. Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Let me see if I can pull up that.
They do have. I will say they do have Aston Martin, because that's his car. They do have that license in there.
Yep.
So there's a couple big licenses in there. So
okay, Evan Realities is the thing I was thinking of. Or even realities.
Okay.
Even realities. So that's for like these are like glasses. These are like smart glasses.
Sure, yeah. I heard about this too, yeah.
Yeah.
Is it the ones he wears in the Vietnam mission? Is that the one?
They're going to be via a post-launch update, so they don't even. I don't even think they're in the game yet. Is what I'm trying to say.
Okay, they didn't even allude to it. Okay, interesting. Yeah,
yeah.
It might even be in that DLC they're putting out. It could be.
Yeah, glasses will appear as an in-game gadget via a post-launch update. Though how it will function is currently unknown.
Definitely. Okay.
Maybe they already put it in a post-launch update. I'm not sure, but this is an older article. But this is from like middle of May. So
okay. Yeah, but the game came out mid-May too.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, makes sense.
So,
got to get your commercialism in there.
Yeah.
Anyway, 007 First Light, tremendous game. People need to play that thing. It sounds like a lot of people are buying it, which is good. It's almost guaranteeing itself a sequel, which is something I want to see. I will play another one of these days.
Yeah.
Just cook on it for 3 or 4 years. Use the same assets. Be smart with it. Make another one of these things that are great, and people will come. They will come. So, yeah, there we go. There's some 007 First Light. Great game. The next game we'll talk about before we get into some Touhou stuff. You and I both checked out Mina the Hollower.
We did.
I
wish
we
I played
did.
the demo.
Yeah, you did? Okay, why do you feel that way?
Because I don't know if I'm gonna play this game. So
Again, yeah. Yeah, I don't really like this game.
Yeah.
Is where I'm at with it right now.
Yeah.
And that's really unfortunate.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Let's start this way. Okay. Mina the Hollower is the next game from Yacht Club Games. They made Shovel Knight Treasure Trove, all the DLC stuff they put out, all the different campaigns. Like, they are a storied indie developer that kind of ushered in the golden era of modern retro inspired video games from indie studios. Like, they were the vanguard for that stuff on the 3DS and the Wii U and all that stuff. Like, after the summer of arcade and the Xbox indie stuff with Super Meat Boy, it was Shovel Knight. It was all of that stuff. It was Spelunky. Like, that was part of that vanguard. And that's why indie games have kind of carved their big swath in the market, is due to games like Shovel Knight. And as such, they've built up a reputation of really high quality stuff. And I'm not saying Mina the Hollower isn't high quality. I have some major issues with the design of this game. I'm pretty disappointed in it right now, honestly. I've put about 4 hours into this thing, and I vacillate from loving parts of it to despising almost everything about it. That's kind of my initial feelings of it. I know myself, I will return to this thing because I have to know where it goes. But it feels like a game that desperately needs both an editor and, I don't know, more authorship. Like, there's not a map in this game that I can tell for a long time, and you need one. You need one in this game. And it's a killer that you don't have one this early. It may show up later. That's a bad design decision. And I think that's the worst thing about it to start. I also think the difficulty is skewed in a really unfair way, where, first of all, you are a little mouse character named Mina. The big thing about this game, the hook of this game, is you can burrow underground and then pop back up. That's a fun thing. That's a fun mechanic. I like that mechanic. But ultimately, you can only move in 4 cardinal directions: up, down, left, and right. Every other enemy can move in 8. And it's really difficult to fight bigger characters that are stronger than you, that can move quicker than you, when you have a very limited move set. And it doesn't make sense why that would be the case. The rules are skewed in engagement like that. You know what I mean? Like, they're just better than you. They just can do more than you. And I find that really, really frustrating. On top of getting lost and not navigating where I need to go, they basically say, "Hey, here's a really good opening bit where we're going to get you to the main hub." Okay, you get to the main hub, you have a fun cutscene. Then they go like, "Okay, go do these 6 things. We're not going to tell you where they're at. Go explore. We're not going to give you a map. Nothing. Go for it." I'm like, "Okay, game. Like, I'm sure I'll get something on the way." Every direction I go, I'm getting stonewalled by this, that, like, either it be by difficulty or hazard or, arbitrary blocking off. There's a bunch of, like, keys you have to get for things that it's a pain in the ass. There's only certain places you can go to with power-ups that you have to, if you die, you lose. You have to go back to this place and get them again. It's really frustrating. Like, I don't understand why they built things the way they did, but then, like, at some point I go like, "Okay, I am having fun with this in some way." The look is killer, the music's killer, the sound effects are great. Everything about the world building is excellent. All the presentation stuff is really pulling me through in a way, but just the playing of it and all the particulars really piss me off. That's how I feel about Mina the Holler right now. I don't like this game at this moment. Yeah, that's kind of how I feel. What do you think about it?
I think we have like different things about the game that makes us not want to play this thing. So, for me, the most egregious thing that this game does is that the feedback loop is just not there. Like, I don't
Okay.
feel like I'm making significant progress compared to the amount of
Yeah,
time I'm putting into the thing. Um,
I feel that too.
and
I do feel that.
I don't feel my character getting stronger. I don't feel my time being rewarded in a way that is visible. And like I think that the combat's fine. I've had no issues with the combat. I didn't even I I don't even remember having issues with the cardinal direction thing that you had. I'm not saying that like isn't an issue somewhere. Maybe I was just
Yeah,
ignoring it. Maybe I'm used to games being a little bit frustrating in DS. So for me,
maybe.
that was just like a average Tuesday for me. I'm like, oh okay. I'm just gonna gauge this game by its rules, right? But
Yeah,
so once I figured out the combat, that first kind of mini boss I died a few times on, and I'm like, okay, I understand this now. That was a good training exercise. Then I got to like the actual first boss, that flying what is it, like a mouse or something? I
the
don't
bat
remember.
thing.
The bat
It's
thing,
like a
yeah.
bat. Yeah,
Yeah. And I was able to just take that care of that thing no problem. I didn't even die to that thing.
yeah,
But
yeah. I didn't either. Yeah,
yeah. But so the mechanics, they're fine, but yeah, it's really just like that lack of map, like you were talking about. Maybe you get a map, maybe we're missing something there,
maybe.
but
Yeah,
that lack
yeah.
of map and that just lack of, like, you know sometimes I just want, like, uh a yellow line just to like direct me to the thing, just point me in the
Sure.
direction of, where the next thing of treasure is, or where the next point of
Or give
interest
me
is
a
at the
hint.
very least.
Or
Yeah,
give me a hint or
give me
something.
something, give
Give
me
me
something.
something. Yeah,
Also, don't have like a BS boss in like this like hard to reach area when I'm exploring around that kills you in like one hit, and then you lose your souls because you can't
yeah,
even get back to the area to try the boss, or just try and get your souls. And yeah, this is Souls like, by the way. We didn't mention this, but
yeah,
this is a Souls like. You have a Souls currency called bones, and you lose bones if you die twice in a row without retrieving
yeah,
your bones. It's a Souls like, so it's a Souls like
yep.
in the top down Zelda format. Um,
It really is, and I don't like. I don't think I like the meshing of those genres at all. I don't,
yeah,
and I
it
also think
feels a
I.
little grody.
Yeah, it's not just that. I think the health file system is bullshit in this game too. Like
Yeah, it's kind of
you
Bloodborne.
have to build up an elixir. You have to
Uh
build
huh.
up an elixir by attacking, and the
Yep.
second you get hit, you drop all of this stored.
Yep.
So basically, as you do attacks, you build up your elixir, and the efficacy of that maxes out at a certain point. So you do a bunch of hits, it fills up this bar. Oh, okay. If I take in this amount of damage, I can replenish that, and that's governed by how many hits I got into an enemy.
Yeah.
But first of all, if you get hit, you lose all that
Yep.
every single time. And people hit you hard. It's like 2 or 3 hits and you're down. Like
Yep.
you are weak as hell in this game. But also, drinking the potion takes forever. So
Yeah,
it's
it takes
almost
like
impossible to
five
do them.
minutes to drink it. It's ridiculous. Like,
You
it's longer
can't
than an
even use
Estus
it.
drink in Dark Souls,
Yeah, oh yeah.
definitely.
Oh
Yep.
yeah. No, it's like a full 3 seconds. And I'm like,
Uh,
that's so crucial to you fighting in this game
it's
too.
like the
Because
Dark
like
Souls
not
2
only do you have
Estus
to
string. They looked up the
right, yeah, no,
Estus string from Dark Souls 2, and they're like, oh yeah, we
yeah,
gotta do that. Let's do that
yeah.
one.
And not only do you have to build it up to get to a point where it's worth it to take a drink, there's only 3 of them to start,
Yep.
and you burn through them really quickly because the
Really quick.
areas are really, really dangerous.
The
There's a
areas are
lot of
small and
flying
they're packed with
enemies,
enemies. Yep.
packed with enemies, and there's a lot of gaps you can fall into, and it's really frustrating to get around in that early
And
area.
from what I
Uh,
remember, there's not a lot of like defensive options. Like, your defensive options are kind of like dodging or burrowing, really. Like, or the dodge is like jumping. So like you can jump and you can burrow, and those are kind of like your defensive options, from what I remember.
but Also, the iframes on the burrow, if you jump out too soon and a flying enemy comes, you're getting hit.
Yeah.
Like, that's also not great design too. You should have you should have like iframes throughout the entire process of that, where you
Yeah.
jump out of the ground and then land. But no, as soon as you exit the ground, you're getting hit. Like, there's a lot of like fit and finish things to this that they needed to consider this a little bit more, like what they were wanting
Yeah.
to do here. I just think the design is really flawed. I
Yeah.
don't like the mixture of of the Souls stuff and the Zelda stuff. I feel like they're at odds with each other sometimes because they want to incentivize you to explore, but then they punish you for
They
doing so by
punish you
putting
for
enemies
exploring.
not
And
right.
that's when I put the game down. I put the game down
Yeah,
when they punished me for exploring. I'm like, okay,
yeah,
if you're gonna punish me this heavily for exploring, why bother? Like, what's the
yeah,
point of playing
yeah,
your exploration heavy Zelda game? You know, like, if, I was using like some kind of guide to guide me through this thing of like points of interest, that don't just kill me instantly. Or if I, had a map to tell me points
yeah,
of interest that don't kill
yeah,
me instantly, then maybe I would be more interested in returning to this thing. But if I know that if I go off the beaten path and take the game at my own pace, that I'm going to get punished for that, that's not fun.
yeah.
That's just not fun.
So you were saying if you had played the demo, you might not have gotten this game.
Yeah.
I don't think the demo is representative of these issues,
Okay.
dude. Like
Okay.
that is a very tailored experience. That's what got me to buy the game ultimately
Uh,
because it played so well. It's a really nice cinematic intro, and then the game starts after
yeah.
that.
Okay.
Like I don't think it's
It was
representative of
definitely
what you
once
would
the game
find.
like actually started that I was like, okay,
Yeah.
this game is not for
Yeah.
me. Um,
Yeah, no, I don't think it's for me right now either. I will come back to this, and I might suffer through it because I do like everything else about it, except for the playing and design of it. That's a big deal, you know.
Yeah,
Um,
it's not worth it for me. I'm
yeah,
playing
yeah,
Adventures of Elliot right now, which I'll talk about later. And like, I was saying earlier when I was playing this thing, it came out yesterday. I was playing this thing yesterday, and it kind of just takes it takes Mina's lunch money. Elliot just kind of takes Mina's lunch money for me. So, it
yeah,
like
yeah,
it does the Zelda thing in a way that even Nintendo can't really do the Zelda thing right now. So, but well, I'll get into
yeah,
that later. That's what
right.
is it? Foreshadowing. There we go. Foreshadowing.
Yeah, there you go, there you go. I guess I've said my piece about Mina right now. It's one of those games that I'm touching and putting away for a while. I won't come back to this thing for a bit. I was willing to give myself to it, and it kind of slapped my hand away, and I was like,
Yeah.
this thing is weirdly brutal in a way that I
Yeah.
don't appreciate,
Yeah.
and in not a fun, educational way either. It's like a no, how dare you explore my world
Uh-huh.
sort of way.
I don't
So
know if I really lost a lot of progress because they do give you a fairly generous amount of hard souls, right? Hard souls are a really important system when you're designing a souls like, because so there's the concept is soft souls and hard souls. So soft souls are the ones that you have on your person; they're your currency that are on your person, and those are the ones that go away when you die, right? The hard souls are the
yeah,
ones that you can keep in a safe place. In the original Souls games, you would have like soul of an undead soldier. You'd pop that thing, it'd give you like 1,000 souls or something like that, and then you could spend those right as soon as you got those souls without being in any danger, because you would pop them when you're at a merchant if you were smart. if
yeah, yeah,
if you're just not thinking about the game's mechanics, you might just be in the middle of a danger zone. You pick one of these up, you're like, oh yeah, more souls. I'll use that. But the
mm,
goal behind hard souls is for you to use them when you're ready to spend them, so that even if you die, even if you lose a ton of souls, you have those as a backup so that you can feel actual progress. And this game does
mhm,
do that decently. It does a decent job of giving you um, souls to spend in reserve. In in fact, it has this weird mechanic where you have to evenly level up all of your. You have like four
yeah,
level up things to choose from, And the fourth one
Your upgrade stuff,
is
yeah.
just banking bones. Like that's the fourth one is just banking them. You have to choose
It's
that
like
one before you get to the
it's like
next level of them.
right. It's like defense, stamina, health, and then bones, right? Is
Yeah.
that kind of what it was?
Yeah. Yep.
Yeah.
So
Yeah, I noticed.
it was attack, your defense, and stamina, and bones.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yep.
And bones. Yep.
Or health, I guess.
for
Yeah.
sure.
Health and bones.
I just think this game is it's wanting to do too much in a way that is really frustrating because it feels like they shoved a bunch of ideas in here.
They
and tried to
shoved a
make it
bunch of
work,
ideas. It's got a lot of cryptic things going on that, I don't know, maybe I'm just not a good enough gamer to pick up on it, what it's wanting me to like feel or do instantly. Like I know the general direction of where I'm supposed to go. I could just
Yeah.
go straight for that, but I kind of wanted to explore around, do the Zelda thing. And then the game's like, oh well, here's this big skull enemy that's just going to crush you, and you will die in these sewers that are hard to get to. And
Yeah.
boo hoo, you lost your souls. You suck at the game. Uninstall. I'm like, yeah, maybe I will uninstall. Maybe you got me. You got me. Congrats.
Yeah. I think it's weirdly brutal, and
Yeah.
also it's so ambitious, but I just don't think they can execute on their ambition because they're trying to do too much. Ultimately, I think their reach has exceeded their grasp a little bit. They're wanting the game to be too many things. I think it needed to be drilled down on what actually they wanted out of it.
Yeah.
I just don't think it's that as approachable as it seemed in the outset.
Yeah.
Is kind of my final thoughts on this thing for now.
It's really
I will come back
weird
to
because like Shovel Knight is like the epitome of like a classic retro 2D platformer. Like that's what that thing is. Like they do weird things with the other knights that you can play as. The other 3 playable knights are pretty different than your average platformer. But even then, all of those can be they can fit into neat little boxes, where it's like, yeah, this still feels like a traditional platformer. Yeah, the one that I'm most down on with those would be the Plague Knight DLC.
Yeah, same.
I dropped that one initially, and then eventually I went back to it after completing the Spectre Knight one and liking that a lot. I'm like, okay, I need to go back and play the Plague Knight one. I
The
adored
Plague
the
Knight
Spectre
one,
Knight one. I
combat's
loved
weird.
the King Knight one. I still don't know if I like the King Knight or the Spectre Knight more, but I like both of those more than Shovel Knight and especially more than Plague Knight. But I still appreciate Plague Knight for what they tried to do. But
yeah, as a non sequitur, I think the Plague Knight moveset's not my favorite. I don't like the cooking of bombs. That was the problem I
it's
had.
just a little awkward,
but the Spectre Knight stuff is like Tony Hawk by way of DuckTales, and it's amazing.
It's so much fun.
So,
yep.
It
reminds me of the third ninja game that you get to play in Gaudia Quest. So, or not Gaudia, in freaking Retro Game Challenge. So,
Retro Game Challenge. Okay.
Yep.
Gotcha.
So,
I think that's a good place to stop for Mina the Hollower. I mean, we've kind of said enough about it.
It's a cool game, cool concept, cool
it's
world.
A cool
game. But
it's just trying
weird.
to do too
Systems
much.
are weird. Yeah, systems are just weird.
Yep. I think I agree with you there. Yeah. Besides the new releases and demos, let's get into some Touhou stuff, Noah, at length. Whatever you want to talk about.
Are you gonna shut down for the Touhou stuff?
I'm handing you the floor. There's a lot of Touhou here, brother. We're gonna weather the storm together.
All right. So, so I've been playing some Touhou fan games. So we've got Touhou Gensokyo Survivors on here. So this is like a Vampire Survivors type thing. It's very bare bones. It was like 99 cents. So I'm like, yeah, I'll try this thing. 99-cent game. Yeah, we'll go for it. And I'm actually not a big Vampire Survivors type person. I'm
not either. I'm not a fan of that thing. No.
But this one, like I said, 99 cents, Touhou, and so I started playing it, and the upgrade system was fun to mess with because it was basically you had you had to do the sort of Resident Evil storage puzzle thing where you have to you have the
Oh, sure.
squares and you have to
Yeah.
fit different powers into the
The
squares.
Tetraminos.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, yeah, yeah,
Yeah.
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 So you fit your powers in the squares, and it's one of those things where it's like I like that system a lot because that's how the power system works in Kid Icarus Uprising, and so ever since I did it in there, I'm like any game that lets me do okay, I want to fit this many power ups into here. How do I rearrange these things to fit as many power ups as possible? That's exactly what
Mhm.
this thing did. All of your weapons besides your initial weapon, you have to fit into this grid, this square grid, into these boxes. And so that was fun. That was fun and engaging. And I was like, yeah, okay. Um, the issue with it is there's always one optimal end game um, for your power loadout because they have a system where if you have the correct three power ups touching each other, then you get an extra power up called a spell card that's like a massive because basically all your attacks are tied to the grid, right? Except for your initial attack that your character starts with. So if you want to add more attacks, like in a Vampire Survivors type thing, then in this game you add them into that grid. And so
Mhm.
if you want more projectiles or whatever, then you add them into the grid. You get an extra free one that's also like a super ultra mega one, usually like a big screen nuke, and you can only get that by combining the three sort of correct powers. And so it's got that once you figure out how to build to where you get all five of the spell cards, that exactly fills up your your max of the powers pool, um, and then you kind of just have solved the game at that point. So,
Okay. Okay. Yeah.
but it's got a little bit of replayability. It's got like 6 characters to play as, and it was just a fun little I played like 4 hours of it, and then I was like, yeah, okay, I've experienced enough of this thing. So, um, but yeah, that was Gensokyo Survivors. It was fun enough if you're looking for a good Vampire Survivors clone. You can get 4 hours of it and probably enjoy it. So, but then the other fan game I played was Touhou Red Empress Devil. So this thing is more of like an Enter the Gungeon type thing. So you've got your
Oh, okay.
you go
Yeah.
room to room. It's very very simplified version of that though. The the hook with this one is that the level layout is very simplistic. Like the rooms are all just like these small square rooms.
Mhm.
But the variety comes from the fact that there's 26 different Touhou characters you can play as. So
Oh,
there's
wow.
just a ton of different character variety, and they all play pretty differently. Some of them are ridiculously powerful, and then some of them are so weak, I couldn't even think of a way to actually complete the game with them. So there's
Oh,
wild
wow.
balancing going on. Um,
Mhm.
but yeah, I played this thing for about 2 hours and was able to get all the achievements. The game itself, a run of the game can take only takes 10 or 15 minutes to get through a run of that game. So the yeah, it was pretty alright. For just a Enter the Gungeon type thing, it was fine.
Mhm.
Um,
Mhm.
had some fun with it. But Yeah, that's Red Empress Devil. And then Marisa returned the book. This is, well, I thought it would be an idle game, but it turned out to be more of like a resource management game that kind of
Oh,
demands a
okay.
lot of attention because it's
Doesn't sound very idle to me.
yeah, it not only so basically it's time based. So the longer you are inside of a run, it's run based as well. The longer you're in
Mhm,
a run, the harder the game gets, basically, to make progress. And so you want to make as much progress as quickly as possible. You also need
mhm,
to manage doing damage and doing economy to where you're like basically you're trying to knock books out of a house, and so you have damage dealers to attack the house, and then you have book collectors to get the books so that you can use those books to buy more resources. So you're managing damage
mhm,
and economy. Um, the biggest issue I had with this game was that there were only, well, we'll say 2 and 3/4 towers that did economy, and every other tower did damage. And that's like all they would do
mhm,
is damage. And so if you wanted to do economy, you kind of had to only do these towers. You always had to use these sort of towers that the game had to do economy, and then your run could vary with the damage dealers, right? You could have some variation on, okay, I want to use this damage dealer, or okay, I want to use this damage dealer. Whatever you think is the most optimal for what you're trying to do. And so yeah, it had some slowdown and frustration points like most idle games do. To where you're like, okay, I'm getting stuck. I just got to get to like this next upgrade, and then the game will pick up again, and I'll have like the resources to the economy
yeah,
to get new upgrades and things like that.
mhm, mhm.
It had like spikes like that to where like you just get this one upgrade, and then your economy would just boom and spike, and you'd have everything you need. So it was fine for what it was. I was able to complete it, got all the achievements in that one as well. And Yeah, I enjoyed my time with it. It's fun. Don't go into expecting an idle game that you can just run in the background though. I was I was like, oh yeah, I'll just run this in the background while I'm working, and then I'm like, oh, I gotta mess with it. Oh, I gotta mess with it. I gotta mess with it. I'm like, okay, this
I
is
gotta
this is not
play
an
this
idle
idle
game.
thing.
Yeah, this is not an idle game. This is a resource management game. It was fun though. I enjoyed it. I played about 6 hours of it before I got all the achievements, and yep, it was a good time. It was pretty cheap too. It was like $5 or something like that. So
Not bad.
yep. Yeah. And then yeah, just recently I've just last night I was playing a couple of actual mainline Touhou games. I played a bit of Touhou 11 Subterrainian Animism. That's basically the one where they go to Touhou Hell. Um, and So that one has some weird mechanics. I gotta like research that one a little bit. I didn't really understand some of the mechanics. They change up the way like the characters play in a really strange way, and so that was kind of like impeding my ability to progress in that one. So I got to look into how that one works with its systems. It basically has a system to where you pair your main character of either Reimu or Marisa with one of 4 different companion characters, and they each kind of change up the way the main character plays. So they're kind of like the shot type that the games usually have, but
Mhm.
they're not the same shot types that I'm used to, and so I was like, okay, this feels really weird to play. This does not feel like I'm playing Touhou. So
Yeah.
I end up putting that one down, and then I was playing Touhou 15 Legacy of Lunatic Kingdom, which that one is basically That one's one of the newer ones. The newest one is Touhou 20. So this is one of the newer games, and this was created after Zune had played I Want to Be the Guy, and he's like, oh, I could do that with Touhou. And so this one's gimmick is that the main mode of this one, anytime you would die, you instead restart to the start of a checkpoint in the stage. And so you just have to, you basically have unlimited continues and retries of that stage at that checkpoint, but you have to get through that checkpoint to the next checkpoint to be able to begin the loop again. And or like to make progress in the loop. And because of that, Zune kind of went crazy on the amount of bullets and the patterns of the bullets, and that one's really difficult. I was playing it because I was trying to show a friend, Slade, a character, in that one, a Clown Piece. I was trying to get to Clown Piece, and I was just struggling my way through that one. Oh my gosh, there's just so many bullets in that one, but those mainline Touhou games are a really good time. I really enjoy Bullet Hell. I think that Touhou is probably the pinnacle of Bullet Hell for me. I like the characters. I like the music. The lore is interesting, I think. Definitely check out the recently announced remake for Touhou 6, because Touhou 6 is my favorite one. I'm over the moon for that recently announced remake of Touhou 6. I love that game. So
cool.
Power, you gotta play that
Touhou.
one. You gotta play Touhou 6.
Okay. If I'm gonna play any of them, I'll play the one you like.
Yeah, play that one.
Sure.
Play it on your Switch.
I'll play it on Switch.
There
I'll play it on Switch.
There you go. Yep. Just check it out. Check it out. It'll be a good time, you know.
Yeah, let me know when that thing's out.
Feels like. Yeah. Yep.
Cool.
That's the Touhou block.
Touhou 15.
We got
Touhou 15, Touhou 11, Marisa, Red Empress Devil, and Gensokyo Survivors. There you go.
Yep.
There's your Touhou minute. A couple of them. Couple minutes.
Yeah.
But yeah, I'll check out 6. Just let me know.
Yeah,
that's good. Games that are not Touhou and are not Bullet Hell either. In fact, they're kind of chill. I played some Nintendo stuff. I finished Yoshi and the Mysterious Book since last podcast, and Pokemon Pokopia. So Yoshi and the Mysterious Book. That game is really good, man. Yeah. Like, I am shocked how much I like that game. It is, I think it's just full of really great ideas. It looks really awesome. I love the style of it. It's got this nice painterly storybook look and feel. It's very, very calm and chill. It's literally perfect for any age. Like, it feels like the perfect family game, where you're doing a bunch of tasks to, fill out the Yoshi decks, right? And meet all these characters. And the things that you're doing, basically, I mean, that's what you're doing. And the things you're doing, are really unique and fun. And every level's got a theme. So, like, you're not doing everything multiple times. Everything has kind of a thing, and then it moves on. It's a game about, it's an idea game. It's one of those idea games where they just put a bunch of ideas in it. And it's really weird, and I really like it. And it's by far the best Yoshi game they've ever made. Like, Yoshi games are for babies. Like, this is not a baby game. Like, in fact, this is a good brain teaser game if you want to get all the stuff. Like,
except for the OG Yoshi's Island, babies would struggle on that one.
Sure, yeah. There you go. I mean, but that's a Mario game, pretty much. This is Yoshi games are a specific experimental breed for children. Like, we're gonna make a side-scrolling, cute, fun platformer. This game is not like that. Like, it's almost a game on its own. It's so unique. It's like a Captain Toad. Like, there hasn't been a lot of games like it, and I don't know if we'll get another thing like it ever, unless it's a direct sequel. Like, it's so of its kind.
Did you play that Captain Toad game?
I love that game. Yeah, that game is awesome.
I never played it.
One of the very one of the few games you need to play it. One of the few games I've almost got everything in.
I don't like those Captain Toad
For like an
levels
Nintendo
from
game.
3D World, but I
See,
also hate
I
3D
mean,
World, so there's that.
if you don't like those levels, you're not gonna like the game. That's
No.
what the game is.
Nope.
But
Yep.
I think the game is tremendous. That's a great game. But
Cool.
Yoshi the Mysterious Book is just it's a really you want to talk about surprises with Bond 007. Like this is another big surprise for me. I didn't even think I was going to get this game, and I kind of like took it on faith. I'm like, you know what? I will try this out, and I am very glad I did. I think it is extremely, extremely charming, and absolutely worth the look. I think it's worth it for full price. I do. Like it is a full price video game. I spent the $70 on it, and I felt rewarded by that. I really like this game. So Yoshi the Mysterious Book, top marks for me. Depending on how this year shakes out, it'll be at the end of the year. I think I really like it a lot. Can't say enough nice things about that game. And then Pokemon Pokopia, another awesome video game. This
People
is
really like that one.
I think this game is super special.
I think it's been selling
The
consoles.
and it should be. It
Yeah.
is one of the more engaging games you can get on Switch 2. It's a little long towards the end. I will say they get a little grindy in a way that's not fun, but it's not too annoying
No.
because it is so cozy and so easy to
That's kind of what
just
happens in
get back.
New Horizons too. If you want to like play
Yeah.
like those like
It's just
life sim games, like New Horizons
it's
gets
just a
really grindy.
resource drag at the end.
Mhm.
Like it's just a resource drag where you need a lot of materials to do things, and there's a
Yeah.
lot of timers that you're waiting for things, which is fine if you want to just like do the other stuff in other
Timer.
biomes. But like
Does they go
I
like
think
Clash of Clans where you have like a timer and you're like, okay, you got to put down the game for this.
honestly, yes,
Clash
yes,
of
they do.
Clans is like, yeah, come back in a month, buddy.
It's more like, hey, I gotta build this building. Come back tomorrow, sort of thing.
Yeah,
And I'm like,
no. Clash
really?
of Clans is a little more extreme than that.
No, it's not like that.
Yeah.
It's a smaller scale of that, but
Yeah.
all I think the story is actually really good. Like it is a world inhabited by Pokemon trying to figure out what happened to humans. And I
Hmm.
think that's really interesting. Like all the humans have left and left their homes and everything, left the Pokemon behind. And it's been hundreds of years since anybody's seen a human. And so the entire point of the game is that you're Ditto. You become a, a human kid pretty much. You're emulating your previous trainer, is what I understand. And you're looking to make the world you inhabit more attractive so humans will come back, because apparently there was like a whole like societal breakdown and stuff. Like the lore of this thing's kind of interesting. There's a lot of really good notes in this game, um and interesting little tidbits of lore. There's honestly like kind of a lot of lore here, um and I just think the whole package is really well done. It looks really good. It sounds great. I love the music. It took me about 35, 40 hours to see the end of this game. And I was taking my time. I really, really liked just picking away at it. I would do a biome like every 2, 3 days, just kind of doing the stuff they asked me to. Um, and it was just really relaxing. Like playing Yoshi and Popocopia, I'm like, yeah, this is just super relaxing. Like I really got a lot out of both of those games.
Sure.
And Pokemon Pocopia is getting a DLC later where you go underwater, which I'm
Under the
really
water.
excited for. Yeah, under the water. Um, and yeah, I again, just like Yoshi, cannot say good enough of good stuff about Pocopia. It is worth you buying, Noah. Like it really is. I think you get a lot out of this game. Um, and knowing you liking Animal Crossing and Pokemon, I think it's a match made in heaven. I really do. Like, I think you specifically would really like this thing. I do.
Maybe.
It's also more relaxed than Animal Crossing. Animal Crossing has a lot of weird restrictions about things,
Mhm.
about how they do things in those games, the
Yeah.
systems and timers and stuff. This game is a lot more lax. And I like
The
that. I
thing
like
with
that about it.
me is like when I was younger, I kind of hated doing creative things, but as I've gotten older, I'm like, give me like a like creative like sandboxy thing to just build in.
That is what
Like
this game is.
I
That is
don't
what this
want
game
don't
is.
give me open world to where like I have to like trek
No,
through an open like area that's empty to get to like point A to point B. Give me just like this like sandboxy like contained experience that I can like
No,
impose my will onto.
you have to get this game then. Like that is literally what this game
Yeah.
is. It's
Yeah.
it's small enough little biomes, like little areas that you're basically like terraforming and making
Yeah.
better, and you're building little bits of land and
And you
houses
get the little
for Pokemon.
guys that come into your thing.
Yeah,
Yep. Yep. I'd
and
probably
you
like it.
attract them with habitats. Dude,
Yeah.
you would really like this
Yeah.
game. I think I would recommend this to you pretty highly then, if that is
Yeah.
the thing you like.
I do like
Um,
that stuff.
but yeah, like I said, it's not as picky as Animal Crossing is about the things it's doing either. So
Yeah,
um,
yeah.
yeah,
The New Horizons stuff just it got a little bit too hardcore for me, like
yeah, right,
on the resource management stuff.
for real. Yeah,
Like those older games, those older Animal Crossings, like they didn't really have the resource management. Like your resource was like your bells, but like
yeah.
that GameCube one, you could just like enter codes to get like 90,000 bells a day for free. So like
I remember you doing that. Yeah,
yeah. So you like never had to. Yeah, I had like an old cheat book that I'd flip
I
through,
remember.
and yeah,
Yeah,
I still have
so
that thing.
nostalgic.
Yep, yep, yep.
Yeah,
I still have to go into the cheat book. I'm like, yeah, okay. I'm playing Animal Crossing GameCube. I gotta get out the cheat book. I gotta look through it, remember that code because it was like a weird 20 character code. I would never memorize that thing in 100 years. I wouldn't be able to memorize that
I
thing.
a side note here. I do wish Animal Crossing characters would be more mad at you, like that first one was.
That
Like they
first
would be
one,
pissed.
yeah.
They would be pissed at you if you didn't do things for them. Yeah.
They need to maybe tone it down a little bit because they were a little overreactive in that first one. Like they
I like
absolutely
it
kind of
though.
it's charming in a way, but also it's kind of standoffish. It's like, okay, why is this person just pissed off at me like day one, or like why like this
Same
person is an
for Mr.
actual
Rossetti too.
yeah,
Yeah.
like most of the characters, like actually not good people. Like most of the characters in that GameCube one, like they're just not good people. They're like not very good
Uh,
neighbors. They're like, I'm going to use
uh,
you and get what I need from you, and then I don't want to talk to you anymore. Good human.
that's so
Like,
great.
uh
Honestly, I feel that about my neighbors.
I mean, that's fair
I
too. That's kind of
yeah,
fair, right? That's kind of real. They're real for that, but
yeah,
also,
that's super
like,
real. Yeah,
it's supposed to be a power fantasy or whatever. Like a
I'm not gonna lie, like for real, you saying that, you're kind of selling me on that life. I'm like, yeah, I could do that.
I can get my neighbor to like do favors for me, and then when they're done doing it,
Yeah.
it's like, okay, get out of here. Like, actually,
Dispose of
get
them.
out of my sight. I don't want to see you anymore. Like, you
Okay,
delivered my
okay.
carpet to
So
me. That's great, thank you. But get
yeah,
out of here.
I laugh at this specifically because of we had a big storm here and a tree fell in our yard. It was our neighbor's tree, and I didn't touch that tree. I was like, he's gonna pick his fucking tree up. I ain't gonna
Yeah,
do it. I'm
yeah,
not gonna do it.
yeah,
He came by and did it. He
yeah.
did it, and then my wife gave him a card because I wasn't gonna do it. It was his tree, and he came over to the house today, and it was like he was like, "Oh, thanks for the nice card. Yeah, I figured it was my tree. It was the neighborly thing to do." I'm like, "Damn right it is.
Yeah,
It
it
ain't my
is.
tree.
Yeah, it's your tree, dude.
I wasn't gonna do. I wasn't
Yeah,
gonna do shit for you, brother."
no,
Yeah, it was funny. Yeah, yeah, that was funny.
yeah.
It reminded me of that. It reminded me of that. So,
I ain't writing you a flowery card. That
uh,
was my yeah. That's
my
good.
wife did that without my consent. I would have been
Yeah,
like, "Who cares?
yeah. Who
It's
cares?
true.
It's his
Whatever.
tree. Yeah, he did his
It's fine. I'm a bad
job as a
person, and I
human.
realize this, but yeah, I'm a bad person. That's fine.
Yeah.
Anyway, to end the cozy block here, Yoshi and the Mysterious Book and Pokopia, buy it at full price. Those games are absolutely worth it. You will get so much out of them. And I think they're the some of the best games you can get on Switch too, along with Donkey Kong, Bravely, like Noah likes. And if you're feeling sexy, Metroid Prime 4, which I don't recommend, but
Ooh, I highly recommend that
so,
one. I love that game.
yeah, that's what I hear. But yeah, there's that. There's that little block. Noah, what can you tell me about Fishing Inc? What do you know about
Yeah.
that thing?
So I bought this thing a while ago, and then I got like to sort of a halfway point Well, it was more of like a 3/4 of the way point, but I thought it was kind of like a halfway point. And then I like just the other day I was like, I need to finish up Fishing Inc. So this thing is basically an idle game, but it's not an idle game once again. Um,
Oh,
it's
I remember you talking about this. Yeah, that's
yeah,
right.
yeah. I think I talked about this on the podcast before. So I
Yeah,
finally
you
finished
did.
it. I finished it. So
Okay.
the basically you are just you're fishing by clicking in the pond, and then you have to click to catch the like hook the fish, and then you have to like mash click to actually like reel in the fish, and the yeah, that loop is that's sort of like a loop, and then you automatically sell the fish, and then you get gold so that you can get upgrades, and you repeat the process. And so this one was kind of fun, once I was kind of in like that mid sort of late game, it slowed down for a bit, but then I was able, because like I don't know what I was on, but like my upgrades were just not like well adjusted. I don't
Yeah.
know what previous Noah was doing with his upgrades, but I had to like go in there and do a lot of work to like get myself back on track so that I could like actually
Yeah.
like progress. And so I was able to get my
You're like,
economy there, and I was able to
yeah.
get my my catching efficiency to where I could like, because like if you don't have enough clicks, then you would not catch the fish. So you have to get your
Mm.
clicking power high enough to be able to catch the fish in a time limit. So that's why like it teases itself as an idle game. It presents itself as an idle game. Then you play it. You look inside the box, and you're like, "There's no idle game here. This is a resource management game." So
Yeah. Yeah. That's
I
funny.
I'm getting really annoyed at all these idle games that I'm trying to play. I just want something I can run in the background while I'm working, and feel like I'm playing a video game while I'm working.
Yeah.
And
No, just play Cookie Clicker again. Come on, that's the best one. Just play
well,
that. Just play
it,
Cookie Clicker.
Cookie
That's the
Clicker,
one.
it's complicated with
That,
Cookie Clicker. There's so much that goes into Cookie Clicker now that's not idle
but it's
anymore.
idle though. You
It's
could do
not
it
idle
idly.
anymore.
Yeah.
It's not idle anymore for me.
Oh,
So where my account is, it is
you're
not
even
idle anymore. Um,
mm,
but
too hardcore. You're too hardcore of
I
a cookie
am.
cutter player
Yep.
now.
But yeah. So basically, I was able to get the economy. I was able to get the rod power to where I needed to get it, and then I was able to start just
And
making steady progress, and I was able to kind of get myself to the end of the game, and everything just kind of snowballed. It felt real good to just like, be like, okay, now I'm just so, powerful that these fish, there's no way they don't get caught. And I'm just getting so much ridiculous amounts of money for each fish. And yeah, then the game is like, okay, you caught, all the legendary fish. Here's this kraken, catch this kraken, and then you beat the game. And so I was able to catch it. And yeah, and then I beat the game. So I've completed Fishing Inc. I've gotten all the achievements, gotten all the upgrades, whatever. So that game is complete.
nice. Nice, good. Fishing Inc. I like that. I have to say something about the next game you're going to talk about.
Okay.
Meccha Chameleon.
Yeah.
All right, this game is kind of a phenomenon right now. I think.
Yeah,
Like
it is.
it's
It's
selling a
got
lot of
like
copies.
yeah, it's got a lot of copies. Yeah. Um,
I kind of
5 million right
despise
now.
the way this thing looks. I despise the way this game
Really?
looks. I think this looks like Roblox trash to me. But I haven't played it. I've seen this thing. I'm not a fan of the way it looks at all.
So this is kind of it's the type of game where you can either play it in a very sort of hardcore, like, oh, I'm going to, find the, most hidden spot that nobody will ever check and make myself completely, blend into this very easy to disguise myself, place. Or it's the type where you're like, oh, there's a graffiti of rainbow on the wall. Okay, I'm gonna stick myself on the wall, copy the like rainbow over my character and trying to blend into this rainbow. Is it a dumb idea? Absolutely. But is it fun to like try and get my character to blend into this rainbow using the paint tools? Yes, a lot of fun. So there's kind of two ways to play this thing. I don't really like the grody, like sort of like, oh, I'm gonna hide and never be found sort of play style. Like I've done a little bit of that, and I'm just like, that's kind of boring. I kind of want to just be like front and center, like in the most like obvious place, and then just blend in like by being creative. Um,
Hmm.
so it's kind of a thing where like it rewards you for being more creative, and it's got like a point system as well to reward you from having people be close to finding you but not actually seeing you. So like hiding in plain
Mm.
sight sort of thing. It kind of rewards that play
Yeah, yeah.
style. Um, so it's fun. It's a unique spin on like a prop hunt sort of thing, because instead of turning into just like an object, you have to be confined to this stick figure sort of guy. Um,
Mm.
but the hook of it is that you get to paint him to blend into whatever environment that you stick your guy in. So
Gotcha. Gotcha. Mecha Chameleon.
yeah, it's pretty fun friend swap. I'd recommend it. It's pretty enjoyable. I've only played like 2 hours of it,
Why?
but I had a good time.
Why is it? Why is it spelled like Mecha with two C's?
Uh, because Asian. I don't know. I'm pretty sure it's like an Asian
Uh,
joint.
Interesting. Mecha Chameleon. Okay. And the next one you got Fairytale Dungeons. You were playing this the other day. I think I saw
Yeah.
you play this game.
Yep. Yep.
Yeah.
So yeah, this was kind of a shot in the dark for me, because I was like, okay, I like Fairytale, but I don't usually play roguelike deck builders. And so
Hmm.
I was like, you know what? This thing's like on like a daily deal or whatever. I'll just grab this thing. And so I started playing it. I was like, hey, this is actually kind of decent, pretty fun.
Yeah.
So you just kind of you're on a grid, and you're kind of bouncing around on a grid from different encounter options, and then once you hit an enemy, um, the way battling works is you have four different cards to choose from, and they're randomly pulled from your deck of cards, and you have base kit. You have 3 mana, and cards can cost like 1, 2, or 3 mana. Um, so then you're just kind of trying to chain cards in a logical way to be able to, sort of get your to sort of defeat the enemies and buff yourself or defend or heal or whatever. Um, so the game starts out with you just playing as like one character at a time, and so you just kind of go around in this dungeon area, and you're trying to collect cards. The kind of the way that I started like playing it was that they have this system that kind of rewards you for having multiples of the same two cards, because they have this magic chain system to where if you get if you basically when you're clicking which cards you want to use each turn in battle, if you click two cards that are part of a magic chain, then you do like a lot of extra damage for doing that magic chain. And so the game really just wants you, it seems, it kind of leans to like wanting you to focus in on that magic chain system for doing big damage. And so it kind of, I kind of don't like the magic chain system for that, because I kind of prefer to just like run whatever cards feel I guess synergistic. I like to have kind of like a lot of variety. Like it feels like it takes away that variety a little bit when like you can get, so they have this like this upgrade system for your character to where there's like a grid that's like randomly generated, and you can like reveal squares like one at a time, and sometimes in that grid you can get extra magic chains. So then you can, instead of just using the default one that your character comes with, you can build your own magic chain from cards that you own or the cards that are in your deck. And so, but then again, that still lends itself to, okay, well, then I'm wanting to, get multiples of these two cards to chain together. And so it just kind of makes you, build your deck with a lot of redundancy. Um, it's more of like a sort of a trading card game mentality, almost, of like a Magic the Gathering
Oh,
like
okay.
standard, or like a
That's a
Yu-Gi-Oh
yeah.
sort of thing, of like having multiples so that it shows up more in your deck.
Yeah, interesting wrinkle there. Yeah, I like that.
Yeah, I can see what they're doing with it. I want to play more of this thing. I've beat the main story of this thing. So the main story, you start off with Natsu and you complete the dungeon, and then this like OC sort of cat character you're with is like, oh hey, you need another pal to help you through this next area. And Natsu's like, oh okay, let me go find Gray and Lucy. And so you get to choose between either Gray or Lucy, then you take them through that single uh like
Mhm.
character dungeon. um and so I went with Lucy, took her through that single character dungeon, and then they're like, okay, great, now you can get through this boss battle, basically. And then you get through that
Mhm.
boss battle, and then the cat's like, okay, well now you need one more person. And so they're like, oh, not just like, okay, let me get the rest of the gang. So then he calls in Urza and Wendy, and so I went with Urza. I got Urza through that solo dungeon, and then I was able to use all three of them to sort of complete the game. And the game does kind of ramp up in variety once you have like all three of those characters working in tandem together, and that's kind of like where the meat and potatoes of the game is that three character sort of squad, um, because that's you can kind of choose like whatever order you want them to do their attacks in, and all their attacks can kind of affect some attacks can affect the whole team, buff the whole team. So like Lucy's more of like a support and debuff character, so she's good at like buffing the allies and debuffing the enemies. And then Urza is kind of like a critical hit specialist, so you're getting kind of big damage out of her. And then Natsu's kind of like a damage all arounder, so you're just getting like strict like consistent damage out of Natsu, basically.
Mhm.
So it was a fun team to run through. I I didn't mess with Gray or Wendy at all, and then once I beat that story mode, I unlocked Gajiel and Juvia, and so I want to play a bit more of that game. I've only put about 4 hours into it. I just unlocked like the actual like special dungeon mode. I'm guessing that's like the actual like roguelike sort of dungeon randomly generated thing, to where you just go in and just keep doing randomly generated dungeon floors, and making
Mhm.
progress in like randomly generated dungeon floors. There's more unlockable characters in this thing too that I have yet to unlock, because I think you can get Loxus, Mira Jane, and Guildarts. I think those are the characters that I haven't unlocked yet. So,
Okay,
um,
gotcha.
but I'm huge into the Fairytail IP. I love the characters. So this thing was fun IP wise. The animations are beautiful. It's a really fun like animated sort of thing for Fairytale fans. And the enemies are kind of done in that sort of Octopath Traveler sprite art way. So seeing like either generic fantasy enemies, or like actual Fairytale enemies in that sort of Octopath enemy art style, is boss enemy art style, is pretty fun.
Yeah,
Like
yeah.
at some point you fight like Acnologia, and my jaw like kind of like dropped. I'm like, Acnologia, what? Because that's like the big bad of Fairy Tale. So
Oh, cool.
yeah, so
Very
Yeah,
cool.
it was
Okay,
fun.
there you go.
Yep.
Fairytale Dungeons. You
Yep.
are going into the dungeon in Fairytale. I have a couple quick hits. These are very quick. Um, I've been, as you know, in my backlog playing this year, I've been playing a lot of visual novels, um, slash narrative games, alongside big RPGs. Is kind of what I've been doing. I finished The Outer Worlds and Trails the Sky at the beginning of the year, and now I've come back to Persona 5 Royal and Fire Emblem, which I'll talk about at the end here. But besides this stuff, I'm doing narrative stuff. And the first of these, after Valhalla, I decided to pick up was Paranormasight. Um, this is a Square Enix published game slash developed game. It's a really interesting one of these. It kind of reminds me of 999. Have you ever heard of 999?
Yep.
Yeah, that it kind of reminds me of that. It's like a first person um, point and click detective horror noir is kind of what it looks like. The basically you're in this town and there's parts of this town that are haunted and you have to kind of suss out what these mysteries are and how it pertains to you as a character. I'm still trying to understand the complete premise of it because it's very guarded, kind of what they want you to do at the beginning. It's you are starting to unravel it as you play. But I'm about an hour and a half in this thing. They're very, very tight-lipped about what you're actually going to be doing in this game. But the main gameplay is like, hey, you got a list you can refer to. You can click on objects. You can click on people, talk to them, pick different prompts, and solve puzzles, sort of thing. But yeah, Paranormal Sight: The Seven Mysteries of Hanjo, I think it's what it's called. It's the first of the two game series. The second one, The Mermaid's Curse, came out this year. But I've heard very, very good things about the original, especially. And I was like, okay, I need to see this thing through. So I'm playing that right now, kind of in my little off time. Once Fire Emblem, I wrap that up here the next day or so. I'll be able to go back to that thing and play it more in earnest. But it looks, I love the look of it. It's got this really nice thick cell shading around the characters, um, that I really, really like. It's got a very good style and vibe to it. It kind of reminds me of a Junji Ito visual novel, in themes, not what it looks like necessarily. But Paranormasight, really liking that thing. I'm checking that out. And then the next thing is I have wanted to finally get to this game and get it off my backlog for years. Night in the Woods. I can't tell you how many times I've downloaded and deleted this game just because I'm like, oh, I'm gonna get to it. Nah, I don't have time for it. I've literally done it off and on for years. And I'm just like, you know what? I'm going to make time for this thing. Um, and it's another narrative game. It's the only game that this team I want to say has made. Um, Scott Benson and his team over at I forget what their actual dev team is, but this is published by Finji. The publisher's done some stuff, but the actual developer, I think it's IF, hasn't done a lot of stuff. Um, but yeah, Night in the Woods is a really interesting thing. It's like a coming of age story where a kind of a college dropout comes home. Um, Everything's very anthropomorphized. There's a lot of like, cat or people sort of thing. Dogs are people, bears are people. Like that's kind of what we're dealing with here. And you play as this burner loser cat May. She's come back home to kind of just get away from college and get away from her duties and stuff. And there's a bunch of like spooky stuff that kind of happens on her way back to town. And it's a really, so far it's been a very good game about having friends that you hang out with that kind of suck. I like stories like Mixtape, honestly, where you're surrounded by a bunch of losers, but you're all losers together. That's kind of how this thing feels, Night in the Woods. So I'm gonna pick away at both of these, um, and kind of see where I get. I would like to get these done. I would like to get Pediment done. I've mentioned that a few times, and I would like to get both the what is it called, 13 Sentinels and Disco done this year too. That's what I would like. Who knows if that happens, but that's my goal. If I get all that done, I will be a very happy boy for narrative games this year. So a lot of my backlog that I'm trying to slice through. But yeah, that's me for those two. So Tell me about a few of these things. Mega Man Dive Offline. To start, what is that thing? I didn't even. I know you
Yeah.
like Mega Man, but what's this? I've never heard of this.
Okay. So this game is it's a dead gotcha game. So basically, what happened with
Oh,
this thing is it was a gotcha game on mobile, and then they killed it off, and Capcom was like, okay, why don't we just put out a um, single player version of this thing and make an offline version of this thing to where there's no microtransactions. You can just buy the game and then just play through this gotcha game like it was a single player game. Um,
right.
and so that's what they did with this thing. So instead of just having like gotcha pulls, they took out all the gotcha mechanics and they just let you just as you play the game, you get the resources to buy the characters, and then you can just upgrade the characters, with resources you get for just completing, the game's levels. And so it's got all the gotchisms of like having like a million things you got to upgrade on your character in order to get them powerful enough to clear the levels, but it's got a decent amount of customization because of that. So it you can kind of drill down into your sort of like play style for like a 2D action platformer sort of thing. And the character variety is pretty fun. They got a good mix of like very Mega Man-y sort of feeling characters and very cutesy girly, gotcha bait feeling characters. So it's
Mhm.
it's kind of like a just a big um like they got all the Mega Mans in there, all the big sort of Mega Man enemies are in here. So it's just
Okay,
one big
interesting.
like um meshing of Mega Man properties. And it's pretty fun. I like it. Okay. I've put about 6 hours into it so far. Um, it's definitely something that if I play it for a while, I'm like, if I play it for like more than like 2 hours, I'm like, okay, I'm starting to feel like I'm doing the same thing over and over again. But the uh, the gameplay is pretty fun. It's just like that classic Mega Man X styled 2D platformer. So but the I like the characters in it. That's kind of what drew me to it. I've been mostly using Tronbon and a Leviathan. So those are the two I've been mostly using.
Hmm. Hmm.
But yeah, it was pretty fun.
Cool. I like it when they decide to make these games sustainable on their own by closing them off and getting all the predatory stuff out of them and
Yep.
going like, "Hey, here's the game. We're just giving it back to you."
Yeah.
Um,
That way it's not a dead
that's what they're
game.
doing with Final. Right. What they're doing with Final Fantasy Resonance. They're doing that. So um, it's a little bit different than Exvius, Brave Exvius, but it's pretty much the situation
Hmm.
that's happening. So yeah, Mega Man X, is it X Dive or just Mega Man Dive
Mega Man
offline?
X Dive because it's the Mega Man
It
X
is X Dive.
property. Yeah.
Oh, okay, okay. I'm reading this as Hunter x Hunter,
Yeah.
so that's kind of fun. Um, gotcha. What is Rustil? I don't think I know what that is.
All right. So this thing, I've had my eye on this thing for a while. It is a action RPG roguelike, dungeon
Hmm.
crawler sort of thing. Um, so basically, um, you're just you've got this tower that you're trying to climb, and so you just go through randomly generated floors using randomly generated loot to power yourself up, and you've got the sort of pick three perk system that's in like all these roguelike things. And yeah, the action RPG kind of just turns into button mashing after some time. You get powerful enough to where you're just kind of mashing buttons to rush through the thing, because you can snowball pretty quick if you've played a roguelike before. But there's not a lot of tacticalness to the combat. But it gives you something to do in the roguelike.
Yeah.
The main drive of the thing is like the roguelike, building, getting that build, getting that snowball going, and then being like, okay, yeah, I did that. I made myself broken. That was fun. And so yeah, I've only put like 3 hours into this thing. I've climbed to like floor 20 or something. But yeah, I don't think I've ever died in it. It's pretty easy so far, but yeah, it's fun enough. I was a little bit disappointed. The trailers and things like that make the thing seem a bit more, engaging and flashy and things like that, but I figure I got to get further into the game to get to that point. So they lock a lot of mechanics in this thing behind progression, and that progression is kind of really slow. Like, it feels really slow because they don't give you a lot of options in the beginning, so it feels really bad in the beginning. It's that type of game to where you need to get progress to unlock the things to make the game start feeling like you're actually interacting with it, engaging with it. So
Right. Gotcha. Okay. That's Rustil. What's the
Yep.
full name of this thing again? I condensed it.
Rustil Eternal Labyrinth Castle.
Eternal Labyrinth Castle. This next game also has a long name too, which I just truncated to Cotton Reboot as well.
Yeah.
What is the full name of this Cotton Reboot game? What's that called?
It is Fantastic Night Dreams Cotton Reboot. So I've talked about Cotton before on the podcast. I talked
Yeah,
about
you
Rainbow
talked
Cotton.
about Rainbow Cotton last year. Yeah,
That's the Dreamcast one. So I finally got around to playing
Oh,
this
wait,
one.
no. You talked about it 2 years ago because it was that Game of the Year 2 years ago. You talked about Rainbow Cotton.
Yeah. That came out 2 years ago. That remaster of Rainbow Cotton. I was excited for that because I do like Rainbow Cotton. But I like the Cotton franchise in general. And yeah, Cotton Reboot. This one is sort of a like a Gradius, side-scrolling styled shoot 'em up. It's a cute 'em up. And so that's the subgenre. And so you're just going around and shooting the things that come at you. And this one's got like an interesting spell system. You can like collect these crystals to get access to different spells, and those are basically like in Touhou they'd be called bombs. And they're kind of like your screen nukes usually. And so you get a lot of these things though. Like, the game kind of just throws these things at you and expects you to like constantly be mashing them. So it's kind of interesting having like screen nukes basically constantly going. So it's pretty fun. It's like I think it's like 6 stages. I was able to do in about 45 minutes. Like my first run of it. I don't know if I'll go back to it. There's other characters that I've unlocked to play as besides Cotton. I don't know if I'll go back to this one or not. It was fine. It was pretty, easy. It was an easier one of these things. But yeah, not too bad.
Cotton.
Yep.
Cool. It's cool that those games are still coming out. I like the little witchy girl.
So
She's fun.
this one's an older remake than the remake of Rainbow Cotton. This one's actually a remake of the very first game that was on the, oh gosh, what's it called? The MX some number string Spectrum. Sure, you've heard of this thing.
Oh,
Yeah.
The ZX Spectrum?
Yeah, maybe that's what they call it, the ZX Spectrum or something like that.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah. This game was for that thing originally, and then they remade it for like modern, PCs basically. But you can still play
Interesting.
that
Okay.
original one as well in this remake, just like they did with the
Oh,
Dreamcast
that's always
one.
nice.
Yeah, with
Yeah,
the
yeah, yeah, yeah,
Dreamcast
yeah.
with
That's always
Rainbow Cotton, they also like have the original Dreamcast mode, and they have the new and improved Rainbow Cotton. With this one, they
Yeah,
have the
I appreciate
original
when
ZX Spectrum
right.
mode, and then they have the fully remade version. So
Final Fantasy Tactics, the re-release of that did that as well, which I appreciate.
yeah,
They
okay,
just include the old one in the new package. That's good.
nice.
More games should do that. More games should do that. That way
Yeah,
you can have both to compare. And then finally for your more Steam game plan, you're playing within the Backrooms. You're doing
yeah.
friend swap, I assume. Is that what this
No,
game is? Friend swap?
no, that's not what this
Is
is.
it not? Okay.
No.
Okay, I guess I don't
So
know.
yeah, so what this thing is it's a PS1 styled walking sim.
Oh,
Yeah. Yep.
that sounds all right.
Yeah, I quite enjoyed it. It's got multiple endings. I got one of the endings, and then I was like, okay, I've played enough of this thing for now. But the yeah, that's kind of just the gameplay loop is walking sim, you know, getting the occasional key item to solve a small puzzle, and then just more walking sim. Um,
Cool.
so yeah, it's pretty got pretty decent graphics, a pretty decent soundtrack. But it was the sort of PS1 style graphics that kind of got me to try this one. Um,
Hmm.
and yeah, I liked it alright. So it was a good representation of like what that backroom style is supposed to be. So
Yeah, you should check out Fear the Spotlight. I mentioned it a year ago or so. Very N64 inspired horror game. N64 slash PS1 style graphics. I think you'd get a kick out of that thing. Um, but yeah, I mentioned it a little bit earlier. Back on Persona 5 Royal, and I have some thoughts about the early game there. I'm about 13 hours in right now. I put significantly more time in this time. Um, I think that Kamoshida dungeon kind of sucks. Really, I'm not a fan
yeah.
of it.
Oh, you're
And
still
I
on that Kamoshida dungeon. Oh my gosh.
no, I'm done. I'm done. I'm
Oh,
in
okay.
Madarame now.
Okay.
But I just don't like it.
Yeah.
I'm not a fan. I uh, I also think Ryuji, his confidant, is really bad. On's confidant's really lame. Takeme's okay. Maruki, the doctor, is pretty good.
I
Like
like Maruki quite a
it's
bit.
not, it's not, it's not pulling me in
Yeah.
the way the other games immediately
Yeah.
did. Like it's so apparent the quality difference from this to like 3 to 4. Like
Yeah.
I don't understand why people like this game more than
The
those games. Like I
style.
just,
It's the style and the ease of gameplay.
but that's the thing. Like Reload now has that kind of style,
It
and
has
I
the
just think that
style,
game
but
is
the game
better.
is not it's not that sort of like just going through a dungeon that's very, straightforward, because those palaces are just straightforward and you just go through them and you get from point A to point B and they feel good to go through.
Yeah,
They do. They're very flashy, they're very cinematic, they're fun to go through.
right.
Tartarus is not like that. Tartarus is
Yeah,
like if the whole game of Persona 5 was Mementos. That's what Tartarus is.
100%. That's really what it feels like too.
Tartarus is
Which makes
not
sense because it's
Yeah, Tartarus
randomly
is not
generated.
great. Tartarus,
No.
if you do too much Tartarus at once, it can get very, very boring very quick. Um,
Mhm. I always did the hey, I'm going through Tartarus until I hit my blocker. That's always what I
yes,
did.
that's what I always did too. But sometimes your blocker is like 100 floors away, and so you end up doing like 100
Yep,
floors of
I would do it.
Tartarus.
Yep, I would do that.
That's true,
Yep, I would do that.
but it
Yep.
feels really bad. Like 100 floors of
Yeah,
Tartarus does
it's not
not
good.
feel fun in one setting. It does not feel good.
No, it doesn't feel good. Yeah, there's no way to do that. Which I'm glad they didn't do that ever again, Tartarus,
Yeah.
because it wasn't good the first time.
Yep.
I do like the bespoke nature of these dungeons. It's really cool to see the different flavors and different themes for
Yep.
each new place you go. I just the story with the teacher is good, and the plot is good.
Mhm.
But I have an issue with how they treat On in that arc as well, and it's just it's pretty messy. The beginning of this game is
Yeah.
messy.
Yeah, it's a weird beginning for a game.
It
Um
really is. I think they put themselves out there and they took risks with it, but also I think some of the risks they take make them look kind of there's some embarrassing stuff they put out there about the perception of women and specifically high schoolers and
they kind of do that thing
On
in
as well.
4 as well though, if we're being honest. Like 4 is kind of that
It's
way
a
too.
persona problem. It's a persona problem.
3 isn't really that
And it's
bad about that though. Like 3 doesn't really do that a whole lot. Not
it
as much
doesn't.
as 4
Three
and
is by
5.
far the most. Three is the most mature of them. That's why I
Yeah.
think I appreciate three
Yeah.
more. Um, I like the music in five. I like the presentation of it.
Yep.
I think the actual going around doing stuff in that game is good. Like,
Yep.
it's pretty sprawling. There's a lot to do in that game. You're never lacking choice, right? Three at some point could feel a little bit too constrained, where you're just like, I've kind of done everything I can on a certain day. I might as well just go home and read emails. You know what I mean? Like three kind of gets into that issue later when you've kind of seen all the stuff. But that's what I remember anyway. But five doesn't have that problem. It has plenty of things you can go out and be doing at any given time. Yeah, I'm of course I'm going to keep playing it because it's Persona at a base level. Persona is fun. It's a fun game, fun series. I'm just going to see how it goes. I'm going to chip away at it through the majority of the summer, and hopefully I get on the end of it and go. I enjoyed that because you said the royal stuff is really good. I'm kind of looking forward
Yeah,
to it.
yeah.
So
Once you get to like the very, 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 very post game stuff, like the end game, post game, post normal end game stuff, then it gets really good. But
yeah,
the I mean the game's alright, you know. The game's alright up until then. There's some good character moments in that thing. There's characters that I like. I'm a pretty big fan
yeah,
of Akechi, so Akechi's
yeah.
kind of my
Catch is cool.
favorite of that game, so
Yeah, yeah. No, I'm going to be chugging along with that thing. It is a good game. I just don't think parts of it are very good.
yeah.
It's a very messy thing. I have a lot of complicated feelings about the beginning of the game. But yeah, I'll update as I get going. I'm not. This is not going to be a constant like, what's your Persona 5 update? What do you think of? No, I'm not doing that. I'll come back. I'll come back whenever I've played more of it, and maybe
it,
then I'll have a coda through it once I
it
finish it.
sounds like you're like playing like a couple hours here and there with that thing, like
Yeah, I kind of have to because it's just not pulling me in.
yeah.
You know, I feel like I have to make myself do it, and I don't like that feeling. I don't.
Hmm.
So, but anyway, there is another RPG I am loving, so that's kind of making that not feel as bad.
Yeah.
Before I get into it, though, you talked to me about Persona 2 and 4. You've played those things recently.
Yeah, so here's my struggle with Persona 2 that I keep running into. So long
Okay.
time ago, I guess about a little over 2 years, or probably about 2 years ago, I was trying to play Persona 2 on my PS Classic that I modded, and I got
Yeah.
like past the beginning of it, and then the game crashed on me, and so that kind of just took the wind out of my sails because I hadn't saved at all in that thing, and so I'm like, okay, because I hadn't figured out how to save, and so I'm like, okay, I'm not gonna play this, and then just recently, now I've got the PSX, I've got the thing installed on my PSX, and so I'm like, okay, I'm gonna boot this thing up again, give this thing a try. So I went and made sure I knew how to save the thing, so if I got to where I was, I could at least save the game. So I figured out how to do that. And then as I was going into like the very like introduction of like characters getting the personas, whatever, the game crashed on me. I'm like, okay, I think this ROM that I got from Vim is just a bad ROM. I think I need to go on like CD Romance or somewhere like that and get a better
Yeah,
ROM
yeah.
for this thing. Because I'm using, I have to use like an English translated ROM because, that first Persona 2 game did not release in the West. And
So you're not
so
even playing the PSP games. You're just playing
the
PS1.
PS1, yep. So,
Gotcha.
yeah,
Okay.
it's just crashing. So, I gotta find a better ROM
Gotcha.
for that thing. So that's kind of my struggle with that one.
Gotcha.
Because I'm very
But
interested
you've
in
been
Persona
attempting
2.
to check it out.
Yeah, I'm
Mhm.
very interested in it. It just keeps
As,
crashing on me.
as someone that's played 20, 25 hours of Persona 1, you're good. You don't have to play that first one.
Good.
Second one I hear is great.
Yeah.
Yeah. You're good. You're good.
But yeah,
Yeah. I mean, you looked at Persona 4, which is my favorite one.
So I looked at Persona 3, and then I was like Persona 3 Fest on PlayStation 2, and then I was like,
Mhm.
I played like Persona 3 a lot. I just don't have it in me to play this thing again right now. I was like, oh, I know, I'll just grab Persona 4, play that. So I got that game on PS2, and I booted that up and was, going through like the beginning of it, and then I'm like, I just don't have it in me to play this thing right now. This thing, that initial cast of like what is it, Yosuke, Chie, and black haired girl, just not interesting to me.
Oh, I like her. She's okay. What is her name? I'm blanking on it.
That's because she's uninteresting. So,
No.
I think the latter half cast might be a bit more interesting in that one, but
I like Kanji and Naoto a lot.
yeah, I think those two seem like good characters, just from what I've seen of them. I've
Mm-hmm.
never even gotten to the point where you get Naoto on your team, so but
Yeah.
yeah, I need to get through that thing at some point. So
You wouldn't just wait for the remake? You're gonna play the old one?
yeah, I want to play the old one. Yep.
Okay. Yeah. I have a playthrough I'm running right now of Golden. I'm about halfway through that. I'm like, I might see that through before the new one comes out and compare notes. That'd be fun.
Yeah, I want to check it out and be able to compare it. I'm also playing the version that doesn't have the stupid Marie character or whatever. I don't like that character. That character was introduced in Golden.
Oh, Marie?
So, yeah.
Yeah.
Don't like that character. So
Mm-hmm.
apparently she's gonna be a big deal in that remake. So
I believe it. Yeah. I
I
believe
guess
it. She's a
people
big
like
deal
that
in Golden.
character.
Well,
Yeah.
yeah, Marie's cool. Yeah. I
No.
don't hate Marie.
Probably the worst Persona character ever. So, yep.
You're funny.
Don't like that character.
Yeah. So besides that, you've been kind of reaching back and playing some old video games. Chiefly Rayman 2 also has been a concern of yours. What's up with Rayman 2?
Yeah, I played like the first couple levels of that thing, and because this thing, so I had this as a kid, I had this like it was like a Netflix service for PC games. I don't remember what it was called, but it had like you could like download PC games. I think I just had like a free trial of it or something. And I played like things like Knuckles Chaotix and stuff like that on there, right? But the one game that I always wanted to play was Rayman 2 because I loved Rayman 1 and I loved Rayman 3, but I never had any like system to play Rayman 2 on. And so then the 3DS era rolled around and they had like that big remake of that game for the 3DS. I
Right.
never played that one
Yeah.
because I heard that one kind of sucked. That remake kind of sucked. It kind of ran really bad, and so I never played it. And so finally, I saw Rayman 2 at my local retro game store for PS1 not too long ago. I picked it up. And so I tried it out the other day. I'm like, man, maybe I'm just not in the mood for like a 3D platformer collectathon thing. This one kind of sucks.
Mm-hmm.
Like,
Ooh.
Rayman talks.
Ooh.
And Rayman, he shouldn't be talking. They need to zip his lips. The
Zip
voice acting is
lips.
kind of really bad for Rayman. Like,
Mm.
Rayman doesn't need to talk. I'm pretty sure he doesn't talk in Rayman 3. Like, I've played that game multiple times. I do not remember Rayman talking in Rayman 3. I don't know why he's talking in Rayman 2. They put a kibosh on that
He
really
might
quick.
like he might like do faces or something, but he's
He
probably not
does
talking.
faces, but no, like Rayman's like talking in like full sentences. And he's got
He's
this really annoying British accent.
British, interesting. Yeah,
Yeah.
he's talking in that Rayman Legends reboot as well.
Okay, well I won't be playing
Um,
that, so you just convinced
he
me not to play it.
he's talking like an American, and it's fine. It seems right.
No.
They're gonna remake Rayman Legends, which is the best Rayman game. So that's a good
Yeah.
game. But yeah, so you think Rayman 2 sucks? All right,
the real best one is that first Rayman game. Like nothing will ever replace that first Rayman game. So those Legend games are just as like they're
it's,
like watching paint dry for me. Like they're probably the most boring thing I've ever laid eyes on.
it's French as hell. We'll put it that way. It's
Yeah.
very French.
Yeah, not my
Yeah,
thing.
for sure.
I like that. I like that first game, and the third game's fun. The third game's very campy, but it's very fun.
Yeah.
It's got that like Shrek sort of like 2000s humor to it that I kind of like.
Mhm.
But Rayman 2 is like I put too much like voice acting in that thing. Like, cut it out. Somebody put a gag order on Rayman, please. Stop it.
Oh man,
Shut
the
him
bloke
up.
is talking too much. Shut him up.
I will say the teensies are pretty funny in that one too, though. In Rayman 2,
Are they?
they're good. They're better in they're better in Rayman 3 when like they're just kind of talking to Rayman and not like talking with Rayman. I kind of like them.
Yeah.
When they're just like they let the teensies just kind of like carry that game in Rayman 3, Hoodlum Havoc. And the Hoodlums are also kind of awesome in Rayman 3. I kind of like the Hoodlums a lot. They're really good like
The
enemy.
Hoodlums.
Yeah.
Mhm.
But yeah.
Yeah.
Rayman died whenever they introduced the Rabbids. The Rabbids killed that franchise.
That's very true. It's
Yeah.
very true.
Yeah.
Yeah,
They went over to like that sort of that like Minions humor that I just can't get behind.
I am going to make an executive decision here. All right. I think we cut this topic until next pod because
All
I'm
right.
slowly fading.
That's fair.
And I really want to talk at length about it. So
Yeah.
before we get into the next game, I just wanted to bring that up.
Yeah, that's fair.
I'm fading, brother. I'm fading. I'm gonna be
It's all
honest with
good.
you. So let me add some fuel to my fire for now on and talk about the game I've been playing the most the last week and a half, 2 weeks is Fire Emblem Three Houses. I'm almost done with it. I am loving it. It is a tremendous video game. I am sad that it's taken me so long to get to it, but I thought it was longer than it actually is taking me. So, had I known this was going to be a 30 to 35 hour game, at least for a playthrough, rather than a 60-hour game, which is what I was worried about, I would have played this way sooner. I don't know why it took me so long. But anyway, I'm playing the Golden Deer route, like I said. You mentioned to me that's the lore route. I've been getting a lot out of that.
Yep.
And I've decided I will come back and play the other routes. I think I have
Awesome.
to at this point. I'm so invested in it,
You can skip Silver Snow. I recommend skipping Silver Snow. That one's not really worth playing.
Sure. And that's what we've talked about for sure. But I will be playing the main two other routes, the Black Eagles and the Blue Lions for sure.
Those are great routes.
I will say this is a spoiler. Okay. This is a spoiler, but it has to do after the time skip. It's a if you want to clutch your pearls, it's a 6-year-old video game. Like it's not a new game. Let's talk about it. Dimitri dies in like almost every route. Like that's crazy. That's crazy. And in
Yeah.
this one, he just dies off screen. They're like, yeah, he's dead, bro.
Yeah.
I'm like, huh? What do you mean? Like it shows the dude reacting to it. He's like, oh, I will avenge you. I'm like, this guy just died. He was really important. Like he
Yeah.
just dies.
That's people just die, by the way. Like, doesn't
I
matter how
know.
important you
I
are.
know.
You just can die.
I
Yeah.
I know. I know. But there's something really cruel about that. I didn't like
Yeah.
that. I'm like, I gotta know about this guy a little bit more. And maybe I can save him. Maybe that's the thing. I can save
it's really compelling, isn't it? It's like, this
him. It is.
Dimitri
It is.
guy, he seems like, stuck up, prude when you first meet him, right? He seems very lame and dumb. But once you do his route, you're like, oh my gosh, I might like this guy better than Claude. This guy might be cooler than Claude, which is crazy because Claude is
That's
awesome.
really good
Yeah,
though.
yeah, it's
Plot is
really.
so good.
I know, but it Dimitri's just such a growth character that, like, once you get to know that character,
Right.
you're like, oh my gosh, this character is actually kind of awesome.
Yeah.
And then Edelgard's just
I've
like
started.
Edelgard. Edelgard doesn't really change. Like, if you like Edelgard, you really like Edelgard. If you don't like Edelgard, she's probably not going to grow on you, even in her out.
Yeah. Right. For sure. I'm 19 chapters in of 22. It's one of those things I'll finish like tomorrow, probably. Like tomorrow morning, I'm probably gonna finish this game and just see it through,
That,
and
oh my
then
gosh,
probably
the
start a
last
little
like
bit.
2 chapters of that thing, you gotta tell me what you think of the last 2 chapters of there.
Absolutely.
Some peak Fire Emblem there, right there, especially that last chapter. Oh my gosh, once you start hearing God Shattering Star, oh my gosh,
The music is very good in this game. I'm excited to hear all
that
that
final
stuff.
chapter music is gonna blow you away. It's so good.
Okay, I'm pretty excited about that then. But yeah, what I'll do is beat that, and then I'll probably start up Blue Lions. I'm
Yeah.
really glad I did that legwork this year and started all those routes because now I don't have to do that freaking tutorial again.
Yeah.
So I'm ready to just jump into it. I'm
Yeah.
like a chapter 2
You'll
on
have a
every
good
one of
time
them.
with Blue Lions once you start to like interact with that class, and they have some really fun.
Yeah.
I think the cast of Blue Lions. I don't think there's a single one of the Blue Lions that I dislike. So I think I like every single one of those Blue Lions characters.
I like everybody in Golden Deer as well. Even the people that I didn't think I'd like Lawrence.
I never
He
liked.
really turns a corner.
Yeah, I couldn't get behind Lawrence. I
think he
couldn't get
does.
behind Ignatz, and I couldn't get behind Raphael. I just was never able
Oh,
to.
Ignatz. Ignatz is my arty boy. I love him. I love Ignatz. He's a great boy. Raphael,
Yeah.
I echo your sentiment there.
Yeah.
I'm not a Raphael guy at all.
Yeah.
At all. But anyway, I think that game is
I didn't
like
even
if I
like
could
Leone
amend
very
my
much. Actually, Leone wasn't very good either.
No, she's just like I like Gerald. That's it.
Yeah.
That's really her thing. If I had to amend my favorite Switch game list, this would be up there now. You know, like, we did
Yeah.
that recently.
That game is incredible. That's such a good story. Such a
I would
good gameplay.
Right. Yeah, it is. I'd probably swap it with like Luigi's Mansion 3 or something.
Yeah.
You know?
I think it's so
my
cool.
top 10 favorite Switch games. Yeah, it's a great game. I'm glad I'm finally getting to it. I'd like this to get a Switch 2 edition. I probably won't.
Yeah.
You know,
that'd be helpful.
it'd be nice. It'd be nice. Anyway, I'm almost done with Golden Deer. I will tiptoe into Blue Lines and see if I actually want to take that on now or if I want to move on to something else.
Sure.
I will. I definitely will. Okay. So another project I'm starting at some point is I'm documenting my favorite RPG characters in like a setting, like a volume that I'm trying to do for my Substack. Like
Yeah.
I'll take a group of them and rank them per series, and then I'll rank that series cast against other series cast. Like I'm making it kind of a project. Like it's basically an excuse for me to play a bunch of RPGs, and I'm looking forward to it. It's a very long process to do that because I'm looking to play a sizable amount of them. But you know, that's it's an idealized thing that I will get to when I get to. And over time I'll make notes on what I think about for instance, Fire Emblem Three Houses characters. To get a full view of that, I gotta play the routes. That's kind of what I decided, you know. So I could get the cast, an understanding of what I think about the cast for these articles that I'm trying to write. So yeah. Yeah, it's I think it's called like the best RPG companions slash characters in games, you know. And I'll stack them up and we'll rank them. That's kind of what I want to do. I love ranking things. So yeah, to end it, yeah, Fire Emblem Three Houses Golden Deer Route is fantastic. It is a must play Switch game. Obviously, you don't have to hear me say that. It's very highly regarded. But I'm glad I'm playing this before Fortune Sweet comes out because I think I might wait on finishing a full next run because of Fortune Sweet. I don't want to burn myself out. That's the weird thing, you know. Um, so yeah, that's kind of my goal there. And yeah, before we get into our movies and TV watching, Noah has one more game that he really likes,
Mhm.
and it just came out the other day. Adventures of Elliot.
Yeah.
The Adventures of Elliot, the Millennium Tales is what this game is called,
Yep.
correct?
Yep.
How is Philadelphia treating you, brother?
Very fun.
Philadelphia.
It's a
That's so
weird,
funny. That
weird
name is
setting
so
name,
funny.
but yeah, it's very fun. The Square Enix was like, all right, Nintendo, you guys can't make a good proper top down Zelda game. You got to just remake Ocarina of Time again because you can't come up with a good Zelda game that isn't Breath of the Wild or Tears of the Kingdom. All right, we'll do it for you. And so they come out with this thing, and yeah, it's everything that a modern um, top-down Zelda should be. This thing, it eats the lunch money of Mia the Hollower. It eats the lunch money of um, Link Between Worlds. Like this thing is just incredible. I
Yeah.
love this thing. So, it's got that Octopath art style. It's that Octopath team made this thing. So the soundtrack is there. It's not quite as good as the Octopath soundtrack, but it's still really good in places. The the sort of character art is there. This time they've got like character portraits in the game that have like animations. So they've stepped this thing up to it's been like 10 years since
Yeah.
Octopath, so they've really been able to develop that HD 2D style from like the roots of Octopath, and this is feels like the culmination of everything they've could improve on. Um, like
Right.
the environments are very alive. The grass is swaying. The you can feel the motion of this game. Um, it feels very moving and alive. The the main crux of the game, the Millennium Tales part, is that it's a time traveling game. So you basically it's kind of like Link to the Past in that instead of having like the light world dark world thing, you have multiple different time periods that you're traveling between in the same map. And so as you go to different time periods, things in that sort of world map change, and so you can get different progress in the various dungeons around the game. But depending on what era you're in, you have access to different levels of that dungeon. And so you kind of just jump between eras, try and get through dungeons and extract all the value out of those dungeons,
Right. Right.
and out of the different areas on the world map. So um,
Yeah. It looks. I gotta say, it just looks phenomenal.
it
It's one of
looks
the better.
so beautiful.
Yeah.
It's such a beautiful looking game.
Yeah. One of the better HD 2D things they've done for sure.
Yep, absolutely. This thing, it just looks phenomenal. It plays phenomenal. It's a crisp 120 frames per second.
Oh, you gotta
Yeah.
love that.
Yep.
Gotta love.
Yep. And it's built for it too. It's definitely built for it. It feels very fluid in the combat. I'm rarely I'm like oh man, I'm dying because the combat's clunky. Like the combat's not clunky if you're dying. It's because you just weren't reacting fast enough. Or
Skill
you weren't
issue. Yeah.
understanding the mechanics. Yeah. Because I have died because
Mhm.
I'm playing this thing on hard mode. So they've got like easy, normal, hard, very hard. I'm like, yeah, I've played a Zelda game before. I'm gonna play this thing on hard mode. That's kind of, I want this thing to push back on me a bit, and it has. It's been pushing back on me. I've said
That's
some
good.
obscenities to this game before, so we'll put it that way.
Ah.
I've I've had
That's good. It's
places
challenging you though.
where the game
Yeah.
is very challenging, and it's very it has like moments where it's like, they want you to get through this gauntlet, and if you don't do the mechanics exactly right, for like the combat, if you're not like learning the move sets of your enemies, you're gonna have a bad time. So
Mhm.
the weapon variety is fun. You've got your sword and boomerang to start out, and then you end up getting a bow and a spear. Then you get bombs and a hammer, and then you get a sickle and chain. So those are kind
Oh,
of the
cool.
weapons. Yeah. Yep.
I saw some of that stuff in the demo, and I was like, "Oh, this is fun. This is
Yeah,
fun
lots
stuff
of
to
good
use."
variety. And
And
it's
also,
kind
you have
of
this like fairy companion too. You have a
yes.
fairy also
Yep,
that
the
you
fairy
use for battle.
companion is with you, and you can use her to attack things, you can use her to pick up items. It solves the annoying part of like a 2D top-down Zelda of like collecting like the drops and the rupees and things like that, because you can just run the fairy around to grab all those things with your right stick while you're trying to do, other stuff. So as long as you're, getting used to that multitasking, the game gets really fluid very quick of like,
Yeah,
okay, I cut down these enemies, I'm gonna leave this fairy over here for when that enemy's, items pop out of it, it can just collect those right away. I'm gonna move on to the next enemy. Um or, it's like okay, this fairy, I need to kill this enemy, I need just a little bit more damage, I'm just gonna send the fairy at it to kill this enemy. Um
right.
and she's also got like magic powers that she can do, so like she can ignite torches by igniting herself, and so that means you can also send her on fire at enemies to kind of set them aflame. And there's also a basically like a wind boost power up that lets you just zoom across the map, and they let you use that in towns too. So if you're wanting to just get around towns quickly, you can just switch to
Mm,
that wind power up, and just zoom through the town. So it's basically,
that's huge.
the game's really good at being like, okay, I know, you don't want your time wasted, so here's, pretty early on they give you this wind boost power up, and you can just zoom across the map. Um, and then they also got a teleport move. I like to use that one a lot. When I'm in battle, if I'm in like a really bad position, you can just warp yourself to wherever the fairy is, and then that gets you out of a
That's
bad spot, bad positioning. Yep. So that's the
very
one
nice.
I find
Yeah,
myself
I
using
think
the most in battle.
you sold me on this game. I mean, I'll probably cop it. I don't know if I'll get it at full price or not, but I will
Yeah.
take a look at it.
Yep.
Yeah, sounds like it's
Um,
worth it.
yeah, it is. Yeah, the combat's solid. The environments are solid. The exploration is solid. I the one thing I've found is that sometimes it can be a bit annoying if you're just kind of going around and exploring, and you get to a place where like you need a certain power or a certain item, and then you're like, crap, I went all the way to this area.
Yeah,
Now I'm gonna have to come back when I get that item.
off the back.
So
Yeah,
right now I'm kind of just trying to push forward in the story so that I can get all the things and then go do all my exploration. That's kind of what I'm focused on right now. Um
right.
but yeah, it's and the game seems to get you your like all your tools pretty quickly. So I have most of my
That's cool.
tools
Yeah,
already. So um, I should be able to do like
a
that
top
free
down game
form
that.
exploration pretty quickly.
Right. Sorry, I was interrupting you.
No, you're
Yeah,
good.
it's a top down game that respects you and your time. So yeah,
It does. It
that's good.
does, and it feels good. It's got a lot of yellow paint to guide you where you need to go, where what you want to look at, what your points of interest are. But it leaves it up to you to figure out how do I get to that point of interest. How do I get to
Right.
that treasure
Yeah.
chest. You got to do the puzzles.
Yeah.
You got to figure out things. But the game is like hey, here's where you want to go. Here's your big map. Here's all your points of interest on the map. Here's the Zelda shrines. Here's the treasure chest. Everything in this game is one for one Zelda. Like you collect rupees, you collect hearts from pots. You collect
Mm,
bombs and arrows from pots. You you. I mean, everything is Zelda in this thing. That's okay.
very
That's
Zelda.
okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's very
Yeah.
Zelda, but it's a very well made one of those things. So it's kind of
Sure.
awesome.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah. That is awesome.
Takes a
For
lot
sure.
of notes
And that's
from like Breath of the Wild, so in terms of like open
that's cool.
exploration.
Yeah.
So yeah.
Cool. Adventures of Elliot. I will check that out as well. Thanks to you. Let's get into some TV shows slash what we've been watching. I've picked up a couple things this week. We started The Mentalist, um, which is like one of these big procedurals, like crime procedurals. I'm like, you know what? I've never really watched a procedural all the way through. Let's do it. So we're picking away, watching The Mentalist. Um, I'm liking it so far. It's basically about a hypnotist slash charlatan who makes a threat to a serial killer, and the serial killer does something about it and basically ruins his life. So the guy goes into law enforcement after that, trying to track down this killer. In the Mentalist is very good. Watching that, we started Widow's Bay on Apple. That show is so good. I haven't seen a show that balances horror and comedy like this. It's really interesting. Can't speak highly enough about it. About 2 episodes in, Widow's Bay, must watch TV. That game is that movie's appointment. Sorry, show appointment viewing. I'm losing my brain. And then a few movies we've been watching. Hunger Games. We watched the whole entire Hunger Games series
Including the
up
Starving
to
Games?
no, we watched Starving Games. But we did watch 1, 2, and 3, and 4, and technically, and we also watched Songbirds and Snakes, which I had not seen, which is a prequel.
Never heard of
Um,
that.
that movie's fine. That movie's fine. I watched, Catching Fire is by far the best one. Catching Fire is an incredible movie. And then Mockingjay 1 and 2, I have major problems with that book. And so the movie was a little better, but like I was still like, Mockingjay. Um, but yeah, it was good to watch the Hunger Games again. That world is so depressing. I'm like, how can
Yeah.
anybody get joy out of that thing?
Uh,
It's a bummer.
Did
It's a bummer. But
did my dad ever make you watch the Starving Games by chance whenever you're at my
uh
place? No.
no,
Okay.
it
Yeah,
doesn't.
it was just a really campy
Yeah.
mockbuster of
It was one of those like epic movies slash thing,
yeah.
yeah.
Yeah, it was so like the main girl was can't miss every shot, and
That's
she's just like
a good
she's
name.
firing her bow and like every single shot is missing. It's so good. Oh, that thing's so
Can't
funny.
miss.
I love the
Oh,
Starving Games.
Katniss and can't miss. Yeah,
Can't miss
Starving
every
Games is good. I
shot.
should. And then obviously we're usual suspects. We're both watching One Piece right now.
Whoopee!
I'm in Punk Hazard and almost to Dressrosa.
That
So I'm
Punk
excited about
Hazard, that
that.
sounds cool.
And Punk Hazard is cool. And the rate you're going, you're gonna pass me at some point. So that's how it goes. That's how it goes.
I'm in Summit War.
Um
Yeah. I guess I'm at the end of like the
yeah.
OG One Piece sort of style.
You
I'm almost to One Piece
you
Shippuden, basically.
you're not in Summit War. You are at the beginning of the arc of Summit War.
Yeah.
Summit War starts with Impel Down, technically. Yeah.
Oh, are you
So
sure? That's not what I was seeing. So.
yeah, no, that's when that story starts talking about Summit War stuff. Yeah.
Hmm.
Yep. Yep. The basically Impel it goes like this. It goes Amazon Lily, Impel Down, Summit War.
Yeah, yeah, but
So
I mean like the overall like
yes. Yep.
range of like arcs that I'm in is the Summit War like
Yeah.
range of arcs. Yeah, I
I
don't know what
think
they
you'll
call
like
that.
I think you'll like right. Are you done with Sabati Archipelago?
Yeah.
Is that are
Yep.
you done with that?
Yep.
Okay. So now is Amazon Lily. You'll like Amazon Lily. You get to meet Boa Hancock. She's great. I love
Okay.
Boa Hancock. A lot of good stuff with them. It's a pretty short arc, but
Okay.
it's really important to Luffy as a character, I will say. So
Yeah.
you'll check that out and you'll like it, I think. Yeah, let me know what you think about that thing. But yeah, other than One Piece, have you been watching anything?
No.
One Piece all the time. There
Yeah.
you go.
I
That's the way to
just
go.
decided that
Good,
I want to
good
get
way to be.
through at least Summit War so I can have like a decent opinion on the show. So
I think you have a dis opinion as it stands, but Summer War will crystallize that, I'm sure.
yeah.
That's pretty good. So yeah, other than that, that's we shorten the pod, even though it's 1 o'clock in the morning as the time of this recording. Or at this moment, because it's just like the topic I want to get into it, it's summer game mess stuff, but we can do that next pod. That's not a big deal. That
Sure.
stuff, none of that's coming out between here and now.
Yeah.
So I will talk about some new unreleased video games that we saw next time. We'll make that we'll make that a priority next time. But we will also probably be talking about Star Fox next pod as well.
Yeah.
That comes out in less than a
5
week.
days.
So we'll probably have finished it by then too, because it's Star Fox.
Yes, Star Fox isn't the longest game ever.
It's really not, but it looks nice and plays nice. I played that demo also. There's not much to say about that, but I
didn't
played the
even know they had
demo.
a demo
And
for it. I've played Star Fox.
They
I
do.
know what that game plays like.
That's
I know
why
I like
I'm
that
not
game.
even going to bring it up.
Yep.
Like me talking about the demo is talking about a fourth of that game, and I'm like, I'm not going to do that. So, anyway, it looks great, plays great. We'll talk
Good.
more about it on the next pod, I think. So that's the plan. But yeah, June's basically dead for new releases. Just we're playing old video games and talking about old video games that are now new with Star Fox. So that's kind of the idea. We're gonna keep chugging along here. Yeah. Is there anything on your backlog you want to get to during this sort of period before anything comes out?
I mean, obviously Persona
Not
4.
really,
But
Yeah.
I mean, I've always got tons of things that like I want to finish Croc. I was kind of having fun with Croc. Just that thing.
Croc.
Out of like all
Oh,
of the like crappy 3D platformer mascot things that I've played, I've honestly liked Croc a lot. I've enjoyed Croc. Anytime I boot Croc up, I'm like,
Play-
I'm actually kind of having fun with this. It's very weird.
Play
but I'm
Buck
kinda having
Bumble.
fun with it.
Gotta play Buck Bumble.
I'm okay. I'm just okay. I'm just okay.
Listen, if you like Croc, you like Buck Bumble. It's from Argonaut. All right.
I
You
also
can do
gotta
it.
finish freaking Bubsy 4D at some point. That's not a very long game. I just gotta
Yeah.
get myself through that thing.
That game is like 4 hours long. You could do that
Yeah.
tonight if you really were wanting to stay up all night. Yeah.
It can't be that
You could do
tough
that.
of a game to get through. So but
No, I've heard it's extremely short.
I like
so.
Bubsy 3D a lot. So I am Bubsy 3D's biggest fan. I don't think anyone in the world likes Bubsy 3D as much as I do. So
I don't think the people that made that game like that game.
I don't think they like that game as much as I do. Let's put it that way.
You're taking the arrows that no one would.
Yeah.
Good for you.
Yeah. I like that thing. I don't know what to tell you. I legitimately like that. I think that thing is fun. It's weird, so it's fun.
I don't like to throw the term out there, hero, Noah, but I think this calls for it.
Oh my gosh. No. I just like that thing because I think it's weird and interesting. That doesn't no. I like that thing.
All right, do you look at Bubsy and Gex? You look at Bubsy and Gex and any other mascot character, and you're like, you'll never be Bubsy. Like Gex, you'll never be a Bubsy.
Well,
how dare you stand where he's
Gex will never be Bubsy, and also he'll never be Croc because Croc is kind of also awesome.
Croc
I like Croc a lot. I think I like Croc better than Bubsy as a mascot character. I think I do. I think I really like Croc.
What about
he just kind of sits there, and so it's funny. What's up?
What about Shantae? How do you feel about Shantae?
Yuck, ew. No. The worst. Gex is better than Shantae. Anyone who is like a Shantae fan, you know that they are just the absolute most degenerate person on earth. Like, ugh. No, Shantae. Yeah. We hate Shantae. Do not put Shantae in Smash. Do not put Shantae in Smash. Absolutely not.
She's gonna be an assist trophy. Get ready. Oh my gosh.
No. They were gonna put freaking Touhou Raymu in there before they put Shantae. Absolutely.
Nobody at Nintendo has played any of those games.
Yes, they will. They will because they're releasing it on Switch, so you can play it on your Nintendo Switch.
Yoshiaki Koizumi is going to be playing. He's going to be playing that game under the table, and it looks like he's furiously jerking off.
Yeah. And then he's like, oh, this must go on Smash Brothers.
Yeah, there you go, Noah. Yeah, break that one out again. That's good. Speak a little Chinese for him, Derek. Uh,
Oh, man.
all right. We've completely fallen apart. It's time to go. Thank you for listening. Thank you for listening to at least 40 of these things. If this is your first one, I'm sorry. We love you. Bye.
Bye.